On a beautiful day in Southern California, the MaxPreps Game of the Week rolls on, and we've got a great one for you tonight. As the number 4 team in the nation, St. Francis Academy out of Maryland makes the trek across the country to take on the number 2 team, the St. John Bosco Braves. Good evening, everyone. Jeff Kurtz alongside Zack Poff, once again bringing you, Zack, what is the best game we've had so far in terms of on-paper matchup. St. John Bosco, number 2, hosting St. Francis at number 4. What makes this particular game so special tonight beyond the rankings?
Well, if you like talent, this is the game for you. There's 76 players combined, both teams, that have landed at least one D1 offer. St. John Bosco has 39. St. Francis Academy has 36. And on top of that, this is the first top 5 matchup the entire country. So this is by far the best high school football game of the 2025 season so far.
St. Francis Academy, the number 1 team in the state of Maryland. St. John Bosco just showing you how tough the competition is in California. Number 2 in the nation, number 2 in their own state. Modern Day obviously in the number 1 slot. But these 2 teams have some pretty good talent, like you mentioned, out in the field, Zack. Let's take a look at some of those players to watch.
Yeah, and it starts with St. Francis Academy. They have the number 1 rated player overall in the class of 2026 in Zion Ely, 5-star edge rusher. This dude's an absolute savage at getting after the quarterback. And St. Francis Academy is going to need a big game from him, the future Maryland Terrapin, because if he gets pressure on Koa'Maula'ulu, that's going to be a huge edge for the Panthers.
Now let's go ahead and take a look at St. John Bosco. They got a lot of speed on their roster this year.
Yeah, I love Madden Williams. This guy's one of the best big-time playmakers at the wide receiver position. He's a 2026 Texas A&M commit, 4-star wideout, and he needs 9 more touchdowns in his Bosco career to set the all-time record for most wide receivers for any Brave. And they've produced a lot of big-time wide receivers. So, and they also got Daniel Odom, a future Oklahoma center. So it makes things easier for Madden Williams to get one-on-one coverage.
It really sets the stage for this defense-offense battle. If St. Francis Academy can get pressure on the quarterback, Madden Williams isn't going to have a lot of time to get open.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the keys to the game. And we're talking a little bit about the defense and the offense, but one of the big pieces, Zack, in all of this is the offensive line for St. Francis is enormous.
Yeah, and Jeff, you were having fun with the keys to the game, but it comes over those big hogs up front for St. Francis Academy. You look at the average size of their offensive line, it's 6'3.5", 302 pounds. So they got some beef up there. It's going to be important for them to kind of establish the run, and also too, they got to find a way to force turnovers and get pressure on Koa'Maula'ulu, because that's going to be a key for St. Francis to win that field position battle by forcing turnovers.
And then for St. John Bosco, Koa needs to keep his nerves. I mean, this is the biggest game they've played so far this year. He's just in his 2nd year, but he's operated well above his grade level for the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, and that's a nice thing with Koa, though. He has played Modern Day twice, and he played them very well in the CAF Southern Section Division I Championship last year. That was arguably his 2nd-best game, not counting the Orange Lutheran matchup. So it's going to be important for him to kind of keep his nerves early, though, and if he can establish a quick passing game, that's going to be huge for Bosco. And obviously the D-line's got to stop the ponies, man. They got to stop the run. If they can stop the run, that's the biggest takeaway for St. John Bosco if they want to win this one.
St. Francis Academy's got a lot of speed, so does St. John Bosco. We'll see how it all plays out on the field in just a few moments.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
And you take our first look at Jason Negro, the longtime head coach at St. John Bosco, longest tenured Bosco head coach, 16 years at the school, an alumnus as well. He's won a bunch of state titles, as you could see, and a couple of MaxPreps national championships in recent years.
Yeah, back in 2019 and 2022. And Jason Negro is one of 2 coaches to be named MaxPreps Coach of the Year multiple times, joining Todd Dodge, arguably the best coach in high school football history in the state of Texas. But yeah, Jason Negro's done a tremendous job with this program. Every year, St. John Bosco finishes ranked in the top 25. It seems like they've been ranked at the end of the year every season since 2013.
And now St. Francis Academy, who's really an up-and-coming program. They have really grown under their head coach, Masai Halamariam. What a great story he has, Zach. I mean, an immigrant from Ethiopia. His family came over during a time of political turmoil in Ethiopia. His parents took him to football. And if you can hear the air quotes, folks, they thought they were taking him to a soccer practice, but we don't call it football here. They took him to an actual football practice. He put on the pads, loved it, ended up walking on at the University of Maryland, has been coaching ever since.
And look at him now. He's doing a tremendous job with this program. This is his 5th season, has gone 30-11. And during his 4 years coaching, they finished ranked in the top 10 in 3 of those 4 years. Great program, and he does a tremendous job with a lot of kids from the Baltimore area. St. Francis Academy has had over 180 players go to a D1 school over the last 7 years.
It is the oldest and only African-American Catholic school in the nation, founded in 1828, and it has been a pillar in East Baltimore and in the Baltimore community for a long time, and founded by Mother Mary Lang. I don't think she envisioned that the football, well, she'd envisioned football at that time. I think that qualifies you another step on the way to sainthood in the Catholic Church, but be that as it may, could never have envisioned what is being produced out of the school from some humble origins back in the early 1800s. So we've got some very good football programs out on the field. St. Francis Academy won the toss, and they will be deferring to the second half of play. So St. John Bosco going right to left across your screen. Those navy blue jerseys with the white lettering will be going right to left.
I'm telling you, Jeff, Bosco's got 2 dangerous weapons back there. You got to look at the freshman, Trevon Bates, and then you also got DJ Tubbs back there, super sophomore for the Braves. He had a very good freshman year, and he's off to a hot start here as a sophomore.
Josh Graham going to be kicking off for the Panthers on a 76-degree evening in Southern California. We are just south of Los Angeles in Bellflower.
It doesn't get much better than this. Beautiful night. We got the first top 5 matchup of the entire season. I've been ready for this one, man. I was telling a couple peeps, this is a get your movie theater butter popcorn ready type atmosphere.
The ball into the air, a return possible from inside the 10-yard line. Here come the Braves. And great special teams by St. Francis Academy are going to tie this one up inside the 20-yard line, and that is where this St. John Bosco offense will start the opening possession of the game.
Nice job by the freshman, Trey Wells. He is a guy that Masai Halamariam is very high on, only a freshman, but you'll probably see him getting some playing time here tonight. Nice open field tackle on DJ Tubbs.
And you get your first look at the sophomore quarterback, Koa Malaulu. Malaulu has been playing since midway through his freshman year, his first start against Orange Lutheran, and he has been a phenomenal player coming his freshman year, Zach. Pretty remarkable.
To ever start for Jason Negro.
He's going to put a man in motion. That's Carson Clark going to the far side of the field. First snap of the game is going to be a pass play. Here we are to the near side, and that pass is going to be caught by Madden Williams, of course, one of our players to watch, and he's going to be shoved out of bounds at the 33-yard line. That'll be enough for a St. John Bosco first down.
And that's what I expect the Braves to do, a lot of quick passes because St. Francis has such a good front 4 and a front 7. Just quick release, Madden Williams, 4-star Texas A&M commit. Open field tackle by Raylon Henry, one of the best DBs in the class of 2027, has 25 offers already.
Malaulu going to look to the sideline. Ashton Keys in the backfield with him, now going to move to his right-hand side.
And you'll see a lot of Keys and also junior Malik Allen in the backfield.
Here's a running play. Oh, no, actually keeping it. Nice fake. Faked me out as well. This is going to be a short gain for Malaulu. Just beyond the 35 out near the 40-yard line. Let's take a look at that St. John Bosco offense.
Yeah, talent all over the field for the Braves. Got to look at Koa Malaulu, Malik Allen, junior running back. Their receiving corps is as good as anybody in the country, led by Daniel Odom, Madden Williams, and Carson Clark back after missing last week. DJ Tubbs, also a standout in the class of 2028. And Bosco's got a pretty big offensive line, too. They're average around 290 pounds, led by senior Maddox Sorensen.
Tubbs in motion to the far side of the field, low snap. This time the ball is going to go across the 40 to the 41-yard line for a gain of 2 yards. Ashton Keys on the carry. It's going to set up a 3rd down and 2 for the Braves.
And I think this is really going to be the key to the game, is whoever going to have these manageable 3rd down, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2 situations, because you don't want to allow either one of these teams to be able to get pressure on the quarterback in obvious passing situations.
And then you've got to convert on those as well, especially if you've got those 3rd and shorts. A little bit of movement on the offensive line. They're going to bring in a tight end here as well as an offensive lineman. Got to think. Let's see who the eligible player is. Looks like it's going to be Adrian Tavui, maybe on this near side. Keys is going to step up off of Tavui's hip. Malulu going to throw on a slant route. That is caught. That's a 1st down into Panther territory around the 45-yard line.
It's almost unfair when you got a 1-2 tandem with Madden Williams and Daniel Odom. Daniel Odom is an absolute freak, committed to Oklahoma, and he's had 6 grabs for a $104 and 2 TDs so far this season, and really about 3 or 4 quarters, because the game against Manatee got called at half because of weather, and last week they won 66-7, so they weren't really playing much in the second half.
They double-teamed Alexander Taylor on that play as well, the defensive lineman for St. Francis. Keys came over to help block. Fresh set of downs, ball spot at the 44-yard line. Here's a handoff, running right, and not a whole lot there. A couple of yards down to the 42-yard line. Malik Allen getting his first carry of the game. Let's take a look at the defense for St. Francis Academy.
Yeah, outstanding front 7, led by Zion Ely, the #1 recruit overall in the class of 2026 on 24/7 Sports composite rankings. Brandon Wills-Dixon, a sophomore linebacker. He's getting the start with Medley out of Syracuse commit. And a very, very good secondary led by Raylon Henry, a junior, and then Amari Polidor, a Penn State commit. And then obviously Jaira Edwards, 5-star Alabama commit, 1 of 2 5-stars in this one tonight.
Empty backfield for Malulu. He's got 5 receivers this time, Zach, on a 2nd and 8. Press coverage, and we got a penalty marker, our first one of the game, and there's going to be an offside call coming up here against St. Francis Academy.
Yeah, and talking to Negro this week at practice, you're going to see a lot of 3, 4, 5 even wide receiver sets. They really don't, a lot of tight end action, single back most of the night.
Offside penalty called against the defense.
And that is offside. There's your call from our official. That's Robin Hall.
Takes it 2nd and 3.
Setting up a 2nd down and 3 at the 37-yard line.
We'll better start with getting our first flag this week than last week. I think Lakeland jumped off sides before the first snap. So
we had a lot of early first snap of the game penalties, but we're now in game 3 for St. John Bosco, game 2 for St. Francis Academy. Hopefully they've worked some of that out. Man in motion, low snap, ball on the ground, and Malulu's just going to fall on it. Smart move back at the 46-yard line, however, will set up a 3rd down and long.
And that's got to be tough for Negro. You got 2nd and 3, and now you're looking at 3rd and 12. Alexander Taylor, good job getting in the backfield. 3-star seniors got offers from Auburn, Georgia, Tennessee, Miami, and Michigan so far.
You can see why they were trying to double team him earlier.
Yeah, their defensive line is so good with Zion Ely, Alexander Taylor, and then Drayden Traver as well.
And now we've got a whistle, and it looks like the Braves are going to use their first timeout.
This drive was starting good for the Braves, but now you're looking at a 3rd and long, 3rd and 13, 8-11. But at least if they do have to punt, they've kind of done a good job at least getting good field position.
Yeah, they have picked up a couple of first downs here. You think that penalty was really going to help St. John Bosco, but then the errant snap pushes them back. And so what do you run here if you're the Braves? Obviously, one focus would be Williams, but of course he was immediately into press coverage from the safety, and that's, I think, when St. John Bosco called their timeout.
This is where they can utilize a guy like DJ Tubbs, a sophomore, one of the best in class of 2028, because you got Daniel Odom, you got Madden Williams, so he's probably going to be one-on-one with somebody, and he's a very talented player if you can get him in open space.
Somebody's got solo coverage somewhere.
And Carson Clark also, he's a San Jose State commit, a little undersized, but he's a playmaker. He made some big plays against Mater Dei in that loss last year in the CIF Southern Section D1 Championship.
And these DBs for St. Francis Academy are big. I mean,
Yes.
Jaira Edwards is 6'2", Raylon Henry is 6'2", Kamari Bing is 6'2". I mean, these are some big guys.
Yeah, Bing had a pick 6 in their 42-13 season opening win over Chaminade Madonna, who beat number 7 American Heritage tonight. So that win looks even better for the Panthers.
It's been 2 weeks off for St. Francis Academy, trying to get a stop here on third down. Malauulu is going to try to run, and he's not going to get very far. A nice job coming off the block. St. Francis Academy making the play at the 45-yard line, and the punting unit is going to come on for St. John Bosco.
I got a feeling we're going to be calling DQ Forkpa's name a lot tonight, 4-star linebacker. He shows you his speed and athleticism. He used to play for Mill Creek, was at IMG Academy for a little bit, and now here at St. Francis.
Yeah, he got rid of 2 blockers and then bounced outside to make that play. As here's a punt away from C.J. Wallace. He's going to drop it into the end zone for a touchback, so that'll be a net of 25 yards, and St. Francis Academy will have their first possession at their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, that's tough. You got a chance to pin him inside the 10, and that one backs into the end zone for a touchback. You can hear some coaches yelling over there on the side, not too happy.
Yeah, not pleased with how that one went in particular, but still a long field in front of the Panthers. We'll get a first look at their offense here, and their senior quarterback, Jayon Williams, who is guiding a offense that also has a prolific running game.
Yeah, and he's a run-first quarterback. He's built like a running back, 5'10", 190 pounds. And he really changed our season around last year when he got put in at quarterback. He's a very good leader as well.
Here's a handoff, and that ball is going to go to Jalen Burke, the senior at 5'9", 195 pounds, who is a load to bring down.
Yeah, he went for 1,000+ yards last year at 8 touchdowns.
He got 5 on that first down carry. This is an area that's really concerning for Coach Negro of St. John Bosco, is can they get some stops in the running game against this big offensive line?
And this is just mano a mano here. I mean, St. Francis wants to run the ball, and they're still going to try and run it, even with Bosco loading up the box.
4 receivers. This is going to be a handoff, and nice pursuit for no gain. Getting in there and making the tackle for St. John Bosco was Asala Wiliava.
Yeah, he was a MaxPreps sophomore All-American last year, had 7 interceptions, but he also led the team in tackles last year with 72. He's one of the best safeties in the entire country, regardless of class, only a junior.
I mean, a guy who, and that tied the school record for most interceptions in a season. And then on top of that, you're getting tackles as well. That really makes you a huge threat in the secondary.
One of the guys that had the 7 interceptions is named, this is what the stadium's named after, John Panish. That was back in 1974, I believe.
I wonder if Wiliava is going to get the stadium. He's got to get a corner named after him if he keeps this up. Here's the first pass of the game, a fade route down the side, and that is going to be hauled in by St. Francis Academy. Looks like a first down. Yes, it is. In St. John Bosco territory. Great catch by James Branch.
Yeah, nice throw by Jayon Williams, too. Had to get rid of that one pretty quick. Drops it in perfect. Josh Holland on the coverage. James Branch, only a junior, but 6'3", 205 pounds. There's a reason why schools like Auburn, Miami, and Michigan, they've already offered him so far.
The ball at the 46-yard line. Nice drive so far for St. Francis Academy. Here's a quick out along the sideline, and we got a penalty marker with a late hit at the end of that play as that pass was caught by Jesse Legree. And then he was already out of bounds and got hit again. So this is going to tack on 15 more yards at the end of this play. That's the first penalty against St. John Bosco.
Yeah, this is a great opening drive for the Panthers. And Legree's a guy you got to pay attention to. He's very quick. And you got to look at Bosco's defense. Dutch Horsk, Oregon commit, headlines the defensive line. Josiah Poyer just landed an offer from Ohio State here in the last week or two. And a very talented secondary led by Josh Holland and Jalen Hill. And obviously Asala Wiliava.
Jayon Williams started this drive at his own 20-yard line, and he's now down to the 26 of the Braves after that 15-yard penalty. Williams takes a snap, looking right, throwing right. He's got a man with a step, and incomplete. Unable to haul that in over his shoulder, Damon Hall, who gave it an excellent effort, but couldn't make the catch.
Wow, it was a good ball from Williams as well.
Boy, if he pulls this in, Zack, shades of Willie Mays. Look at that, over the shoulder, had it for a moment,
And Damon Hall will tell you he should catch that one 99 out of 100 times. Just a nice touch, and Hall could not come up with it. That's going to be a play to remember here if they can't get any points on this drive.
At 6'5", 215, he's quite a target and beat double coverage. Had a couple of yards on the defenders.
A 3-star Maryland commit.
Williams is going to keep it this time running left. He's got good speed. He's got a first down. He's out of bounds at the 15-yard line, actually the 14.
Yeah, good job by Williams to sell that, and Justin Coach didn't hold the edge on the side, and Williams able to use his speed to pick up the first down. This is a great opening drive for the Panthers.
It is.
They haven't even had a third down yet.
St. Francis Academy in the red zone. This time, Burke's going to line up to Williams' right. Now Williams going to look to the sideline, change the play call. Williams going to throw. Here comes the blitz. Pressure coming. Down he goes. First sack of the game. Getting in there was Matthew Muasau.
Yeah, their linebackers are very good at getting pressure on the quarterback. Josiah Poyer also there to help out his lineback tandem.
That's going to put the ball back at the 18-yard line, a loss of 4.
And Muasau is really a linebacker that does it all. He has an interception this year as well. Committed to UCLA back in May.
He's number 11 there. You saw Josiah Poyer, who's also putting pressure on the quarterback on that last play. Really forced Williams to step up in the pocket right into Muasau. Coming down to the 5-minute mark of the opening quarter. Blitz coming again. Handoff, and it's a run blitz, and Burke is going to lose 2 yards. Muasau with his second big play defensively. The ball back to the 20. Also getting in there and putting a stick on the ball carrier. Nice job by Lenisalota Olive Enos.
And this is exactly where the Braves want St. Francis Academy. 3rd and 15, 3rd and long. Their secondary is so talented here. They're going to try and make a play on the ball.
Burke going to motion out of the backfield. Williams going to step up and run. He's going to break a tackle. We'll get back to the original line of scrimmage. May make it to the 13-yard line. They'll set up 4th down, and the kicking game is going to come in here for St. Francis Academy. Well, that's a nice job by Williams. I mean, he's a big player, too, at 5'10", 190 pounds, with Burke at 5'9", 195. That's 2 guys who are pretty tough to tackle.
Yeah, good job by Asala Wiliava and Richard Orozco there to bring down the QB. Get a look at Josh Graham doing the kicking for St. Francis.
A 30-yarder on the way towards the street, and it is no good. Wide left. Graham pressed into service for this game as St. Francis Academy had to switch kickers prior to this week, and so Graham misses his first field goal attempt, and St. John Bosco catches a bit of a break, and they'll take over.
And you got to go back to that drop by Damon Hall. Should have been a touchdown on that drive, and then St. John Bosco's defense steps up, forces a field goal, and no good. And that was one of the keys that Negro was talking with us about is we got to hold them to field goal attempts. When they get inside the 20, we really got to press down, and even better for him, it didn't go in.
Well, and you saw the adjustment St. John Bosco made as they start blitzing.
Yeah.
They're going to rely on their defensive backs to make stops, and they're going to try to put pressure on the quarterback and make him shorten his vision from down the field to the guys right in front of him. Malulu is going to go with a 5-receiver set. Now man in motion to the far side of the field is Corey Hinton. Here's a quick hitter. And a solid gain on first down. DJ Tubbs with a catch out to the 26-yard line for a gain of 6 yards.
And I think it's pretty obvious what the Braves want to do. They want to get some quick passes off and let these receivers make plays in the open field. And Corey Hinton, a sophomore running back with Koa Mala'ulu just to his left. He's a game breaker.
Malulu with the back in the backfield this time is going to put it on the ground. Nice move at the line of scrimmage to pick up a first down here. A nice carry on the play by Hinton. 3rd first down of the first quarter for St. John Bosco.
And Braves going a little hurry-up offense. They got 3 very talented running backs, too.
Defensive line shifting around. That's Zion Ely going to the left-hand side. Pass down the field is into a sea of 4 white jerseys, and that pass is going to go incomplete, as that was intended for Daniel Odom, who wanted no part of that, and you can see why.
Yeah, he's like, hey, I'm trying to play the rest of this game. He's going to take a big hit there. Kamari being a Maryland commit, he's off to a great start here in his senior season. Had a huge game against Chaminade Madonna, capped off with a pick 6.
Hinton going to motion out of the backfield to the far side. 3 receivers there, 2 to the near side for Malulu. St. Francis Academy going to rush 4. Malulu going to throw. He's going to hit Williams. Williams is going to get out of bounds at the 39-yard line. That'll set up a more makeable 3rd down and 3.
And that's what I love about Madden Williams. He catches the ball and goes north and south. I mean, a lot of receivers you'll see make that catch kind of dancing around. It's 3rd and 3, very manageable for the Braves offense.
Good matchup with Raylon Henry as well. Both players 6'2", 190.
Those could be 2 guys that might be future SEC opponents as well.
Oh, they're getting an early look. They might be seeing too much of each other over the next few years. Malulu taking his time. He's going to move Hinton up. They're going to try to double team on that left-hand side of the offensive line. Here comes the pressure. Here's a quick throw, and that pass was going to Carson Clark. They might have had Daniel Odom over the top, and Malulu didn't have a lot of time to find him. It'll be incomplete. 4th down, and the punting unit is on once again for Bosco.
Yeah, you can see Odom was a little frustrated. Nice job by Dry Miles on the coverage.
Odom went right over to Malulu on the sideline and said, hey, I was open there. And Malulu said, hey, I missed you.
Jamie White, nice job on the coverage as well.
There's a booming punt from C.J. Wallace all the way back to the 15-yard line. On the return, nice stiff arm, and out of bounds finally on that punt return is Jesse Legree.
Yeah, good job by Poyer there to at least wrap him up. It looked like he might have taken that one back to the house.
That was a return of about 21 yards after a huge punt by Wallace, who's got a great leg.
And that could really be the X factor in this game, because Legree and then Tubbs on the other hand for Bosco, they're 2 outstanding punt returners.
I think what the coaching staff is telling Wallace on the sideline is if you can angle it away from him or get a little more elevation on that punt, he outkicked the coverage just a hair.
And C.J. Wallace committed to Washington as a kicker, only a junior. Sanir Brooks in the backfield with Jayon Williams now, one of the better running backs of the class of 2027.
So Brooks going to get an opportunity. He's going to get a carry on 1st down. He will be hit at the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain. Forward progress to the line of scrimmage.
And Brooks came over here from Pennsylvania. Played at Aliquippa last season, was at Central Catholic his freshman year, a powerhouse in Pittsburgh. He had 90 carries for 621 yards last year as a sophomore.
I mean, you're seeing more and more good underclassmen getting playing time. We talked about Malulu as a freshman coming on, starting at quarterback for St. John Bosco. Guys are just ready. They're ready within their first year or two.
Yeah.
At 14, 15, 16 years of age, we got to keep reminding ourselves that's what we're watching down on the field with some of those young guys.
It's just different now than it was even 10, 15 years ago.
Here's a handoff running right. Big hole, a little bit of room, breaking tackles, and down the sideline, finally out of bounds with a 1st down is Sanir Brooks. He's going to take it down to the St. John Bosco 44-yard line.
And it's always nice when you can follow your right tackle there, Edward Baker. Also good job blocking by the tight end. And Brooks really shows you his burst there, able to get outside and pick up a nice chunk play.
Officials were moving the ball a little bit too far down the field, and they now put it back at the 44-yard line. Yeah, Baker he gets around the edge, and he's got some speed, too. I mean, he was moving pretty well.
Yeah, him and LaMarcus Dillard really the headliners on this offensive line. Baker, a Tennessee commit, and Dillard committed to West Virginia.
Brooks going to stay in the game with Williams in the backfield. Tight end Destin Mitchell is in on that right-hand side. You see him heading over behind Baker. Handoff again. Hard running by Brooks. Boy, not quite breaking tackles, but certainly moving the pile forward inside the 40. down to the 38-yard line. Make that the 37.
Yeah, the Panthers got to be happy with their first two drives. Have been pretty well balanced, too. They've even done a good job in the passing game. But you just see the talent with Brooks. I mean, him and Burke are a good 1-2 punch.
Williams. Play action. Going to roll out. Looking to throw. Hit and intercepted.
Nope, incomplete.
They're saying incomplete. Josh Holland is making a case that he's not going to get it.
I want to see the replay here and see if he's able to get his hands under it. Just an overthrow by Williams. Good job by the Braves getting pressure.
Yeah, it is nice pressure by St. John Bosco. Boy, tough to see.
Yeah, you can't really tell.
Tough to see right there because conveniently for St. Francis Academy, Jesse Legree walked right into the shot.
Yeah, and then on that angle, it was a solid Willie Ava in the way. But a good job by Justin Coach coming off the edge and getting some pressure on Jayon Williams.
3rd down and 3. Handoff running right. Oh, and there's Horsk right there to get the stop.
Huge play. I love this kid's motor. He's been a playmaker at Bosco since he was a freshman. He's been on the MaxPreps All-America team for his respected class in multiple years, and he shows why there. He did a great job. He contains the edge, doesn't lose it, tackle in the backfield. And, I mean, it was probably going to be, they're going to go for it on 4th down, but now it's 4th and long, so now they're punting.
Yeah, 4th down and 8 after a 4-yard loss. Yeah, so Josh Graham on to kick.
Sorry for interrupting you, but I saw Dutch on the field before the game. He's ready to go. He's got a great motor, one of the best DNs here. He's in the same class with a guy like Cole Aubrey, who's the all-time sacks leader.
This is going to be downed immediately. The ball pretty much falls right into the lap of Legree.
It was almost by accident.
Yeah, Legree was just hanging out, waiting for it to bounce, and then the next thing you know, he's holding the football at the 16-yard line. St. John Bosco in a scoreless game with the football after this.
Our number one priority is protecting our players. That's why we're writing new rules for the sport and developing innovative educational tools to protect our athletes. This is player protection. This is high school football.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
Upcoming games on the NFHS network in addition to our MaxPreps game of the week.
Going back to Georgia.
We are. Carrollton at Gainesville. Zach, you and I will be back in the Peach State. Modern Day Centennial. I'm actually at Centennial tomorrow for their game against Bingham.
Oh, there you go.
Bingham, Utah, Centennial.
Play-by-play?
I am. East St. Louis, Bishop Gorman. That'll be a great one, yeah.
That's a great matchup. And Jones-Edgewater, a big-time rivalry in Orlando. Darion Coleman, a name to watch for Jones, 4-star Miami commit at quarterback.
If Mater Dei and Gorman can hold serve as a nice first down run out to the 25-yard line by Bosco as we come back to the start of the second quarter. Mater Dei and Bosco can hold serve next week. That really sets up a fantastic matchup, which will be the MaxPreps game of the week on the 19th of September.
Yeah, going to Vegas. Little Gorman, Mater Dei.
Gain of 9 on that last play by St. John Bosco, their best running play of the game so far.
A nice job by the senior, Ashton Keys.
2nd down and 1. This time, Malulu going to keep it. He just needs a yard. He's going to get that yard. It'll be shoved out of bounds at the 27-yard line.
And that's the ability that Malulu brings, too. He's just very athletic. He's got a very athletic family. Both his sisters played D1 softball. His dad was a quarterback at Arizona. His brother is a wide receiver at Fresno State, played at Long Beach Poly.
His mom, athletically, taking all those kids to all their practices over the years. There's a lot of management involved there. Got to be on your feet. Malulu with Keys in the backfield to his right. 4 receivers set. Now Keys going to motion out of the backfield. Malulu looking to throw. He's throwing a deep ball this time. He's got a lot of air on there. Caught in stride down the sideline and tackled finally at the 15-yard line is Williams.
That's a bad man, and a great ball by Malulu. Hit him in space, and Madden Williams does the rest. Just a great job by the offensive line to give him time. Drops it in perfect. Couldn't be any better of a ball for Malulu, and Madden Williams, stud.
For a moment, Zach, I thought he had put it too much on a line, but he knows his teammate, and Williams runs under it for a huge gain. Braves in the red zone for the first time in the game. Malulu going to keep it himself. He's going to try to run left, but no room there as St. Francis Academy sniffs that out. It's going to be a loss of 1. Nice job that time getting in, making the tackle off that side. Jariah Miles, the linebacker.
I wasn't going to do this again. My eyes weren't working, so I couldn't really see who it is. So I wasn't going to do what I did in that Santa Margarita game.
We'll just call random players.
Yes.
Malulu in the backfield. Back in the game now is Allen. Now Allen's going to step up on that right-hand side. Now moves left. St. Francis Academy looking like they're going to blitz pretty much everybody in a white jersey who's not covering a receiver. Here they come. Here's a pass towards the end zone, and it's going to be incomplete as Clark went left and Malulu thought he was going right.
Yeah, a little bit of miscommunication there. I think he was actually trying to get it to Daniel Odom. They both have one-on-one coverage. So good job by both defenses so far. Each time they both got inside the red zone, they forced a 3rd and long situation. See what the Braves dial up right here.
3rd and 11. This is certainly within C.J. Wallace's field goal range. Of course, the Braves, hoping for something more than just 3 points.
Got Madden Williams all by himself on the top, and Tubbs, Clark, and Odom on the near side.
See if St. Francis Academy rolls a double team over to that right-hand side. Malulu looking to throw. He's looking right. Now he's looking for Williams on a slant and just beyond his grasp. Right idea. Just misses on the connection.
And Williams had such a great break at the line of scrimmage. He was open. Malulu just put it a little too far out in front. Amari Polidor on the coverage.
And now here comes the field goal unit. This will be Wallace from the left hash marks, a 33-yard attempt here out of the hold of Noah Perez.
C.J. Wallace on the try of the field goal.
And C.J. Wallace, he's one of the best kickers, not just in the class of 2027, but in the country. He's already committed to Washington.
In his senior year, looking to connect here and give his team a lead. That kick, low line drive, no good. Wide left. So both field goal kickers, despite our best efforts to give them a little bit of hype here, Zach, have missed to that left-hand side going to our right.
Yeah, just he needed the fade there instead of the hook.
So now St. Francis Academy, they got to feel like after that big pass play, they were able to dodge something a little bit there as their defense held, and then the missed field goal.
Yeah, nice job by the Panthers defense. And, Bosco will tell you they probably should have had that touchdown to Williams, just throw a little too far out in front. And St. Francis should have had the touchdown to Hall on their opening drive.
Late arrival to the defense is Ethan Coach, outside linebacker for the Braves. On first down, Williams going to keep it himself. Finds a sliver, a little bit of a crease in that offensive line, and picks up the first down just beyond the 30-yard line. And let's talk about that offensive line. Some great blocking there from them. You mentioned it in the top of the broadcast, Zach. This is a big group.
Yeah. I mean, you get a look at John Watkins, 6'5", over 300 pounds. LaMarcus Dillard, Freddie Jacobs, Logan King, 6'3", 290 pounds. And then Big Ed Baker, 6'4", 315. You get a look, the average weight is 302 and just under 6'4" at 6'3.5.
That is
travel.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to know who's paying for that bill.
That's a lot of meals you got to get there. Handoff. Short gain for St. Francis Academy on the carry by Jalen Burke. But, I mean, that offensive line, that's like an NFL offensive line, just about. I mean, that size is remarkable.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if a couple of those guys end up playing on Sundays down the road. Baker already committed to Tennessee, and West Virginia committed Dillard, and John Watkins, a 3-star, committed to Temple.
Gain of 4 yards on that last carry, 2nd down and 6.
It's crazy to think, Jeff, there's 76 players combined that have landed at least one FBS or FCS offer in this game.
That's the most we've had so far, and we've had a lot of good talent through the first 3 weeks. Williams drops the football, picks it up.
Surprised they didn't call that an incomplete pass.
Yeah, it looked like his arm was coming forward, and that's what Coach Negro is saying. Hey, that was an incomplete pass, but the officials are going to say no. He fumbled the football, so that was a live ball, and Williams picks up the 1st down.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty clear. Incomplete pass. But refs missed it. 1st down for the Panthers.
Yeah, they get a break out to the 42-yard line.
That's a tough break. So it would have been 3rd and 6. Now they get a free 1st down at their own 42.
Burke in the backfield. Williams up to the line, changes the play. 3 receivers far side, 1 near side. Williams going to tuck it away and run it himself. He's going to dive forward across the 45-yard line.
Really impressed with Matthew Muasau. He just knows where the football's at all times. Good job to take down Jalen Williams. Looked like he had a little bit of room there, but nice job by Muasau to close in fast.
Yeah, he's just throwing himself into the breach every time. I mean, he's made some big plays. That could have been a much longer gain for Williams. Gain of 3.
And the Braves have produced a lot of legit linebackers, and this 2 they got here, they like to play a lot of 5 DBs. So Muasau and Josiah Poyer, 2 good linebackers.
Williams with pressure coming. He's hit, and down he goes. 2nd sack of the game, and look who it is, Matthew Muasau.
I mean, UCLA is getting a stud, and just a great blitz. Nobody picked him up for St. Francis. And Jalen Williams isn't an easy guy to take down.
No, they could have used him the other day, UCLA.
Yes, that's true.
That's a loss back to the 39-yard line. A loss of 6 yards. 3rd and 13 for St. Francis Academy. Who's not had to take to the air too much in this game, but they've got some big guys they can throw to. Samir Edwards, the lone receiver to the near side at 6'4". 3 to the far side. Williams going to throw a screen underneath, and Muasau again.
The dude's everywhere. You know, St. Francis really tried to trick him there and fake a ball to the left and come back with the screen. Muasau wasn't having any of that.
That's a loss of another yard back to the 38-yard line, and Graham on to punt.
And watch out for DJ Tubbs here. If he can get a low line drive kick, he's special in the open field.
This is Graham's first time punting at the varsity level this season. Gets that punt away. High kick. Good looking kick. Tubbs going to fair catch inside the 30-yard line.
Yeah, not bad for just showing up.
No kidding.
Good position, though, for the Braves here, right just outside their own 30.
I can't say that Graham caught a late flight or anything to get here, but I don't know if this is how he envisioned his season starting when.
And St. Francis, they got out here Wednesday morning, and Masai had them practicing by 11:30 on Wednesday, and caught up with those guys yesterday. A great group of kids, and Masai Halamariam, he's been great to us here at MaxPreps. He's doing a great job for not just this school, but the community of Baltimore.
Man in motion, Carson Clark, as Malulu going to start this drive at his own 28-yard line. Slant route underneath, and it's going to come out of the hands of Daniel Odom, a little bit behind him. He was trying to sit down against that zone, but he is unable to hang on to the football. 2nd down.
Yeah, just a tough play for Odom to make there, throwing a little behind him. That's probably a ball he'll tell you he should catch. But I've been impressed with Madden Williams so far. He's been in a lot of one-on-one situations with the stud junior DB Raylon Henry, and he's won most of those matchups.
Polydor in coverage that time.
Got Jair Edwards, a 5-star Alabama commit, kind of coming up towards the line of scrimmage right to the left of Raylon Henry.
Here comes some pressure out of the backfield. This is Allen. Allen's got a 1st down. Allen out of bounds around the 45-yard line.
And he's good in the open field. He made a huge play last year as a sophomore, really the play of the game in that win against Chaminade Madonna by 7 points. And good job by Mala'ulu to get outside the pocket, get it to Malik Allen, give him some space, move the chains.
Yeah, with heavy pressure coming from Taylor. Taylor coming again. Malulu going to throw across the middle and almost intercepted. He overshot Odom, and Amari Polidor was there and got a hand on the football.
And these are those tough games, too, because, you know, both teams are very excited, so you got a little extra juice. So we've seen some overthrown balls by Malulu. Tight window there, but that's probably a throw he'll tell you he's going to make. And, they haven't been on the same page so far, him and Odom. He's been very consistent with Matt and Williams, but still trying to get Daniel Odom involved.
Yeah, a little bit behind, a little bit in front. It's not quite there yet.
And Carson Clark, too, a guy to watch for, senior wide receiver. He missed last week, but he's back this year, number 1 for the Braves in motion.
Clark to the near side. Malulu's going to throw to this near side. They were running a bit of a pick play, and it was deflected by Taylor at the line of scrimmage. Nice play by the Panthers, and they'll set up third down.
Yeah, Taylor's having a good first half here, making plays. 6'2", 245-pound junior.
He's going to come off the field now, as it looks like St. Francis Academy going to add some DBs here. Pretty much all DBs and 3 linemen. And now we've got a whistle, and Coach Masai saying, hey, I don't really like how we're configured here. Let me use our first timeout. So each team has used a timeout. We've got 5:50 remaining here in the first half. And Zach, I got to say, once again, this MaxPreps Game of the Week is turning from a game of the week into the defensive game of the week, because you see great defense every week and not a lot of scoring so far.
I will say this, though. I mean, St. Francis Academy, arguably best defense in the entire country. Braves not far behind, if not better. They've got an outstanding defense. Masai Hallamariam, though, his 5th season here at St. Francis Academy has gone 30-11, but don't let the record fool you, because their schedule every year is one of the toughest. Last year, they had a trip to SoCal to play Orange Lutheran. The next week, they went to Texas, played Texas Power at Duncanville. And then the next week, they came in and played the number 1 team, Mater Dei. So he's had these type of schedules every single year. Back in 2023, they had the toughest schedule of all time. They played teams like Buford out in Georgia, East St. Louis, Mater Dei, St. John Bosco, IMG Academy. If you're playing Mater Dei and St. John Bosco and you're not in the Trinity League, that's crazy.
Yeah, they are not shying away from any takers. And they're willing to go there to play people.
I told him he's crazy, man. All those games were on the road as well.
This is a school that has to travel 30 minutes to get to their practice field. They're trying to get one nearer their campus. It's still in progress. They've done a lot of great work. We're going to have a penalty marker here, though, as Carson Clark was trying to get away, and Jamie White wouldn't let him. That's going to be a hold in the secondary.
Yeah, that was an easy call to make. And Ko Malulu, a great job on the pump fake. And Clark did a good job. That would have probably been a touchdown if he didn't get mugged.
Yeah, that's one where you'll give up the first down to save the 6 points.
And I believe, too, it is a first down, right at where the
10 yards
gain is. Yeah, good match, Jeff.
Look, it's been a while, but so a first down for St. John Bosco. That is their 7th of the game, the first one they've earned off a penalty. Malulu going to sprint out to his left, throw back right, wide open is Allen. Allen is going to head to the end zone, and he's going to get in. We've got a score.
Who says there's no touchdowns in the MaxPreps Game of the Week? Great play design.
Boy, you could hear the coaches at St. John Bosco on the far end of our press box hooting the minute they saw Allen get out of the backfield and no one was around him.
They knew that play was going to work, and they called it at the right time. Malulu, great job selling it, rolling out, throws across his body, walk-in touchdown for Malik Allen.
Fantastic execution by St. John Bosco. They're on the board.
And the Braves, man, they've got a outstanding coaching staff led by Jason Negro.
Extra point on the way, and that's going to split the uprights. 7-0 our score, kicked towards the sunsets here in Southern California. Let's look at that play again, Zach. That was just what we talked about. Fantastic play call at the right time.
Yeah, outstanding job. You see them pulling 55 over, and that fooled the defense even more. Walk-in touchdown, Malik Allen.
A 44-yard touchdown pass.
And that's what makes Malik Allen so dangerous. He's a legit running back, but he's also a threat in the passing game. Get a look at Jason Negro. He's led to St. John Bosco to 2 MaxPreps national championships, 2019 and 2022. That 2019 CIF Southern Section D1 championship game, craziest game I've ever been to. They were losing 28-5 to a Bryce Young-led Mater Dei team. And then DJ Uwe Ungalale took over, threw for over 400 yards, had over 500 yards of total offense, led Bosco to a 39-34 comeback win. Best single game I've ever seen at the high school level.
We will have Mater Dei St. John Bosco on the NFHS Network later on the scene. Yeah, on Halloween. Be a crazy night.
Yeah.
Wallace, slow line drive kick, a little bit of a knuckleball. Going to take a hop past all the return men into the end zone for a touchback.
And, you know, looking at Negro, too, the longer he's been here, the more they've started to play these out-of-state games, because there's a lot of teams in SoCal that don't really want to play Bosco because they just don't match up. And Jason Negro has done an outstanding job in those out-of-state games. They're 30-4. They've won 4 in a row. They had one setback in Hawaii against Kahuku. But Jason Negro has led the Braves to 22-1 record over his last 23 out-of-state games and never lost to a team from Maryland or the D.C. area.
That's right, 4-0 against teams from Maryland and D.C. is St. John Bosco.
And St. Francis Academy looking for their first win against a Trinity League opponent or a team from SoCal. They're 0-5. The only California team they beat was De La Salle back in 2021, 42-28.
Williams going to play action, roll right, dump it off to his tight end. First time hitting the tight end, and he's got a big target right there as grabbing that football and picking up a first down is Destin Mitchell at 6'4", 250 pounds.
Yeah, this is the best group of tight ends Messiah has had here at St. Francis Academy. Destin Mitchell, 17 offers so far, 3-star Florida State, Virginia Tech, Maryland, Penn State among the schools to offer the 6'4", 250-pound senior tight end.
Williams picks up 11 yards on that pass play on first down.
This is a big drive for the Panthers just to kind of get a little bit of confidence.
Play action again. Single coverage near side. The pass in the air and just through the hands of the sophomore wide receiver, Samir Edwards.
Yeah, Edwards had a beat on the junior DB, Jalen Hill. Hill had one of the best interceptions you'll see all year. One-handed, looked like Odell Beckham. And just, you know, if Edwards would have just kept running a little bit, he might have had a better chance at that ball. But he's only a sophomore. This is going to be a big-time wide receiver to come from this Baltimore Power.
You're right. That's just the learning curve right there.
Yeah.
He's going to be phenomenal, though.
Yeah, he had a really good game against Chaminade Madonna. And, man, talk about an impressive win to start the year, 42-13.
Running play. Good tackle, stepping up and making the hit was Richard Orozco, the defensive lineman junior. Makes the tackle at the 34-yard line, a gain of 3, 3rd and 7.
And that's what the Braves do so well. They have so many bodies they can throw on the D-line, so it keeps these guys fresh. What you need when you're going up against an offensive line that, you know, the average weight is over 300 pounds. This is where Jason Negro wants the Braves defense, 3rd and 7, 3rd and long situations.
Sanier Brooks in the backfield with Williams to Williams left.
And Jesse Legree is a guy to watch. He's so talented in the open field.
Bosco crowd coming alive, trying to encourage their defense to get a stop. Williams, play action again. Pressure coming. Hit as he throws. And that is going to be incomplete as Horace gets in there and breaks up that pass attempt.
And hopefully Jayon Williams is all right. He took a huge hit from Dutch Horace.
Boy, Horace has had 2 big plays on 3rd down.
And that's just a tough situation for the junior running back, Sanier Brooks. And Jayon Williams, important to watch him, make sure he's all right, because the backup quarterback's only a sophomore, Carter Daly, 5'10", 165 pounds. But he throws a good ball. He got a lot of playing time against Chaminade Madonna in garbage time.
Graham on to punt. A short kick. They're trying to keep it out of the hands of this Bosco return team. It's going to take a Panthers bounce inside the 40. And will finally roll down at the 36-yard line. Let's take a look at the top 10, the MaxPreps top 10. And once again, not a whole lot of movement here, but there could start to be some.
Well, 7, you're going to see them drop. They lost 28-24 against Chaminade Madonna. Big win for the Lions. St. Thomas Aquinas won today. They played Columbus. I know Bishop Gorman's playing Powerhouse Lone Peak in Utah.
That game's on the NFHS network tonight.
Grayson was up big on Mallard Creek. Duncanville was up at halftime against South Oak Cliff.
We hope to have some scores for you at halftime, folks. We've got 4 minutes and 3 seconds to get there. Man in motion for Bosco. They're going to do a little toss pitch to the right side. A nice job breaking the initial hit. Boy, that looked like that Corey Hinton was going to be stopped in the backfield. He's able to shake a tackler and pick up 5, maybe 6 yards.
And that's the nice thing with the Braves offense. They have 3 talented running backs. So these guys are all fresh, and Hinton, only a sophomore, 61 yards on the ground so far this year with a tutty.
Second down and 4 after a 6-yard gain. Hinton's going to stay in the game. St. Francis Academy was up near the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to drop back a little bit defensively. 3 receivers set to the far side, 1 to the near side. That's Clark. Malulu looking left. Now he's going to step up. He's going to roll. Here comes pressure. He's going to throw it away. Nice job defensively applying that pressure. That was Jariah Miles. I mean, Miles got there in a hurry.
Yeah, he's having a good first half, especially with Maurice Medley out, a Syracuse commit. And nice job by the Panthers secondary to not have, a lot of open space for Malulu to find a target, tried to make a play with his legs and just threw it away.
3rd and 4. You could bet Malulu is used to, if I get outside like that, I'm going to get a first down, but Miles shut that down quickly.
Yeah, the speed on this defense, they're so big, too, just a big athletic group. They've done a good job on Zion Ely so far. We haven't really called his name too much, but he's demanding a lot of double teams.
A little bit of confusion offensively for the Braves. They finally get it sorted out. They're going to throw. There's Clark making the catch. He's got a first down, and that's into Panther territory around the 48.
Yeah, impressed with Malulu's quick release, and Bosco's receivers are so good at getting open right off the line of scrimmage. Yeah, we'll see if St. Francis's DBs or their corners specifically start playing a little closer to the line of scrimmage because they're just getting beat off the line, and Malulu doing a good job, just a 3-step drop back and slinging that thing.
Yeah, that quick release is keeping the defensive line from getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback. St. Francis Academy deferred, so they'll get the ball to begin the second half of play. So the Braves trying to get another score on the board before the end of the half, make it a 2-score game. Quick hitter far side, that's Williams. Williams is going to be tackled after a short gain at the 45-yard line, a pickup of 3.
And clock this under 3 minutes now, so this is perfect opportunity for the Braves to do a little 4-minute drive, try and get some more points, go into halftime up with a double-digit lead.
Malulu got his team quickly up to the line of scrimmage. Now going to look to the sideline for a play call. Again, St. John Bosco, they've got those 2 timeouts left. Plenty of time. Hinton in the backfield. Now he's going to step up over left tackle. Malulu, pressure coming. He's going to throw the ball away.
There's Zion Ely. And that's tough when you got a running back trying to help block, but Zion Ely is so elusive, especially at that size, too, at 6'4", 235 pounds.
I mean, we walked over to where St. Francis Academy was warming up, as you could see. They were warming up on a practice field over by the baseball field, and everyone was huge.
Yeah.
Like, everyone. The holder, the long snapper, everybody was big.
They got a big. It's one of those teams, when they come off the bus, you're like, oh boy.
And St. John Bosco is going to burn a timeout here. The clock had stopped on that incompletion. 2:18 remaining, but a big 3rd down and 7 coming up here for St. John Bosco, and Coach Negro wants to make sure they get it right.
Yeah, this is a big play in this game too. It's 3rd and 7. St. Francis Academy, if they get a stop here, get a chance to get points, and they get the ball to start the second half. You don't want to allow the Braves to get a first down here and add more points on the scoreboard.
Well, 3rd and 7 here. What are you going to go with if you're St. John Bosco? I mean, a pass play down the field, but which of your receivers are you looking for? It seems like Williams would be the big play guy in this situation.
Yeah, I was about to say, whoever's running that camera right there in the Braves huddle, number 7 right there to your right, that's the guy I'm trying to get the ball to. He's so good, especially if you leave him in a one-on-one situation. He has such strong hands. His catch radius is as good as anybody in the country.
And St. Francis Academy, with so many weapons on the outside for Bosco, they've been trying to pick who they double team. But I haven't seen a lot of double teams on Williams yet.
And that's the thing, too, with this Panthers secondary. You know, it's pretty much all future D1 guys. So they feel good allowing these guys in one-on-one coverage. But, you know, Madden Williams has had a good first half here. He might be a guy you want to start getting a little help on.
The ball off the left hash. Malulu. They've got a tight end in the game for the first time for some extra blocking. Malulu going to air it out down the middle of the field. He's looking for Williams. He's going to underthrow it. And it should have been picked off by Amari Polidor, who, if he was up here in the press box with a headset, would vehemently agree with me because he had it in his hands and was just so disappointed when he didn't haul it in at the 5-yard line.
Yeah, Madden kind of breaking towards the middle of the field, the ball thrown over his right shoulder. Yeah, Polidor will tell you he should catch that 10 out of 10 times, but not able to come up with it.
So the drive will stall for the Braves at the St. Francis 45-yard line, and Wallace, a low-line drive kick that's going to be angled toward the corner. That is a great bit of work, but can St. John Bosco keep it out of the end zone? They cannot.
Yeah,
almost.
Tough, you know. Ethan Coach was going after it, but couldn't stop the momentum of the ball before it crossed the goal line. That would have been tough for St. Francis if they would have had that ball at the 1.
Yeah, rolled into the end zone with him.
That's close.
So a net punt of 25 yards, and with 2:01 remaining in the half and 2 timeouts, St. Francis Academy with the football. And given that they'll get the ball, Zack, to begin the second half of play, maybe they elect not to do too much here. Probably these first couple of plays will maybe determine how this drive goes for them.
And the nice thing for them, they can play it safe and try and run the clock out because Bosco only 1 timeout left. Nice to see Jayon Williams back out there as well. Took a big hit from Dutch Horst.
Boy, Coach Negro is way out on the field.
He's upset because he thinks Coach downed that ball before he rolled into the end zone at the high school level. If you stop the possession and have control before it reaches the end zone, it should be marked there.
I guess the question is, did he have control before he rolled into the end zone? I think that's the argument that Coach Negro is making right now with Robin Hall, our referee. Well, he said his piece.
Yeah, coaches usually don't win arguments with refs.
No. Has any official ever said, you know what, you're right. Let me, very rare. I've been doing this a long time. I can't remember an instance where that's happened.
You've probably never seen that.
No. Williams back in the game. Good to see. You're right. He did take a big hit. He's going to carry the ball. Why not? He took a big hit the last time. He'll take another big hit here. Take it to the 24-yard line. Gain of 4 yards.
Yeah, I think the Panthers they're not upset about going into half only down 7-0. The offense has moved the ball, but Jason Negro was telling us this week, if we can just limit them in the red zone, hold them to field goal opportunities, and that's really what the Braves defense has done once they've marched down the field.
Each team with a missed field goal in the game. Empty backfield. Williams steps up again. He runs to his right. He will get to the 27-yard line. Gain of 3 more, setting up 3rd and 3. But again, the Panthers don't look like they're in any rush here.
Yeah, Braves only 1 timeout. So if they get a stop here and it's 4th down, you'll see them call a timeout if the clock's running. Just at least force them a punt and see what happens.
Panthers are going to use as much of this play clock as they can.
Yeah, they can get it down to probably about at least 40 seconds.
Under a minute to go here in the half. Williams, QB draw up the middle again. This could be dangerous. He's down the field inside the 50 and finally wrapped up at the 45-yard line.
Yeah, nice run by Williams and nice job by Josh Holland to make up the ground and able to bring down Williams as he came down hard and he's still on the ground. And he's taking some big shots in the first half.
Yeah, he's going to have to come out for at least a play. That will stop the action with 42 seconds to go. The ball at the St. John Bosco 44-yard line. But now this changes things for the Panthers.
Oh, that is right on his head.
Oh. Yeah, that both ankles were wrapped up by Josh Holland, and he just came to a crunching stop, and maybe just got the wind knocked out of him. It looks like he's back on his feet, so that's good to see, but he's going to have to sit for that one play. So now you probably just hand the ball off to Burke. And the Panthers are going to call a timeout here. They got one left.
Yeah, injury timeout. And Carter Daly, he's the backup, so he's going to come in and take this snap. If you're Messiah Hallamariam, I'm guessing you're probably running the ball here, but he can throw a good ball. I saw him at practice yesterday. He's got some steam on it, and he looked good against Chaminade Madon. He got to play the majority of the fourth quarter. They put a running clock on the Lions.
Yeah, the question is, do you let your sophomore come in and throw a ball here when he's just been standing on the sideline kind of cold, or do you just hand it off? It seems like you just hand it off and let Burke go to work.
I'm handing it off for sure.
You're assuming
take a chance of an interception, a pick six.
Yeah. So you get a look there at Ely. I mean, as he's watching the offense out on the field, you would assume that Williams, given how he looked on the sideline a moment ago, is just going to sit for the one play.
Yeah, I think he looked like he was all right. Like you said, I think he just kind of got the wind knocked out of him a little bit.
Well, Sanir Brooks is in the game, in the backfield. So you got receivers shifting around. They're going to flip the formation with 3 wide to the wide side of the field. That's the left-hand side. And Daly into the game in the shotgun. He's going to shoot. Why not? Why not have him throw the football? He's going to throw underneath that pass incomplete. So much for our analysis.
Yes. It looks like Jayon's getting ready to come back in.
We also have a penalty marker down, it looks like, at the line of scrimmage.
So good to see Jayon Williams coming back in.
And we've got a block below the knees against St. Francis Academy. So that's going to move them back.
Well, the good news for the Panthers is they did move the chain, so they can at least just run the clock out here and don't have to worry about punting. But yeah, they're probably going to try and just run it here and get to half. Big penalty.
Third penalty of the game against the Panthers. That's going to put the ball back at the St. Francis Academy 46-yard line, a loss of 10.
And the ref's like, hey, what'd you say, Jeff?
Let's make it 15. Yeah, I thought they were a little short there, but I wasn't going to question them, but there we go. They got it right.
Your math's on point tonight.
Thank you. First down, a long way to go. Williams back in the game. He's looking to throw. Now he's going to roll away from pressure. He's going to dump it off. That pass is caught and then pushed out of bounds right around the 40-yard line is Micah Brown. So Brown with the reception, setting up second down.
Yeah, great job by St. Francis Academy. You pick up 18 yards and you get out of bounds. You still got your one timeout in your back pocket. 28 seconds left.
Boy, at 1 minute they look like, hey, maybe get some momentum. Then they go backward. Then they go forward. The momentum is back.
Yeah. I mean, you want to probably get it to about the 20 to feel kind of good about a field goal opportunity. Maybe 25 that'd be about a 42, 43-yarder.
Burke back in the game in the backfield. Second down, about 7. Williams going to throw down the sideline, and he's going to overshoot Damon Hall, who is just blanketed in coverage by Jalen Hill, stride for stride.
Yeah, Jalen Hill, 6'3", 170 pounds, 4-star, one of the top DBs in the class of 2027. He played at Inglewood last year, transferred over here along with Jacob Whitehead, another 4-star DB in the class of 2027. Whitehead ineligible for the first 5 games, so he'll be a guy the Braves get back in this already talented secondary. And it's nice to see the super sophomore Brandon Nash getting his first opportunity here. He missed the first 2 games for the Braves, one of the best in 2028.
Williams is going to send 5 receivers out into the pattern this time. And now a timeout is going to be called as Coach Hallamariam is danced not in a celebratory way out onto the field to bark at some of his players. Someone was in the wrong formation, and they're going to have to use their final timeout here, which is a tough break with 22 seconds left.
Yeah, that's tough. You wanted to hold on to that timeout just in case you need to call one to set up a field goal.
Well, while we have a moment, Matthew Muasau has been all over the place for St. John Bosco.
Yeah, he just gets after it. And he's doing a good job at all three levels, too. He's also good in coverage, but he's been playing at the line of scrimmage here. And he doesn't miss tackles. He's one of the surest tacklers in SoCal.
I mean, his film study this week was fantastic because he is in the right spot at the right time every time so far in the first half.
Yeah, and watching their game against Manatee, he had an outstanding game. That game against Manatee when they won 31-0, game was called at half because of bad weather. They held Manatee to 10 total yards, had 10 passing yards and 0 rushing yards.
Williams on third down, out of timeouts, 22 seconds on the clock, first half trailing by 7. Empty backfield. Looking to throw. Here comes the pressure. He gets rid of the football and almost pulled in.
Wow.
Some late separation by Damon Hall, and he almost makes the catch.
Yeah, that would have been an acrobatic catch.
1 out of 2. Huh?
Nice job by Williams to get enough on that. And he kind of threw him open. Tough catch to make, though, for the senior tight end.
Muasau in coverage on the play as well. Fourth down, Graham on to punt.
And if you're Graham, it doesn't matter. Just get it off. No chance of getting it blocked, and do whatever you can to make sure if it's a bad snap.
DJ Tubbs is going to come out for the return, but St. John Bosco, I think, is just going to try to make sure they aren't running a fake here. That'd be a lot to ask of Graham. He's just going to get the ball away without a return man. That ball is going to bounce at the 10-yard line, and then we'll move back to the 14 where it will be down. Nice job by Jesse Legree getting down there, and Bosco will have the football at their own 15-yard line.
Probably get a QB nil and go into half, 7-0 lead.
I think it'll be interesting to look at our keys to the game at halftime, but I think Coach Negro's got to be pleased, and I think Coach Holomariam has got to be pretty pleased as well.
Yeah. Yeah, St. Francis will tell you they had opportunities to put points on the board. You go back to that drop touchdown on their opening drive.
Well, you do have a kneel down there by Malulu, and Malulu will take the team into the locker room with a 7-0 lead at halftime. Well, folks, we got the number 2 versus the number 4 team in the country, St. Francis Academy, coming all the way out from Maryland. We've got ourselves a tight game, as you would expect. 7-0 our score on the MaxPreps Game of the Week. We'll be back with a halftime show in just a few moments, folks. Please stay with us.
The MaxPreps Game of the Week is brought to you by GoFan, the leading ticketing solution for high schools. Skip the line and get your tickets instantly on the GoFan app. And by the NFHS Network. Watch your favorite teams live and on demand with the largest broadcast network for high school sports.
#1 priority is protecting our players. That's why we're writing new rules for the sport and developing innovative educational tools that protect our athletes. This is player protection. This is high school football.
All right, here we go. Your top 10 plays from the NFHS Network. Last week, Jeremiah Tabb's going to get us rolling from Hoover High School in Alabama. Mr. Tabb going up high to make this catch over the defender. Keeps it 2 feet in, and then he'll just throw backwards right into the end zone. Let's turn up the volume.
It's time to give it to Schwab, his first carry of the season. Good blocking. Mutual up the middle, still on his feet. Big cut. Foot race to the end zone. Cash to the bank.
Great call there. Cash to the bank. Let's go to Oregon, Crescent Valley. Cole Lehman to Sterling Holland. We're going to zoom in on this one so you can see it. Right there, keeps his heel in, touches it. You only need 1 foot. What a play there by Sterling Holland. Dickinson High School. Malachi Gamble gets a little pitch right here. Takes it to the sideline. Stops. Makes that guy miss. This guy tries to hit his ankle. This guy tries to get him. I don't think so. Nobody's going to catch him either. He's too fast. Mr. Gamble. Nice 69-yard touchdown run. Let's go to California. Sierra Canyon. Jackson Stokes. Watch out for Sierra Canyon. They are loaded all over the field, including the running back position. Mr. Stokes, what a run. He is incredibly fast. He can stop on the dime, change direction. Good blocks downfield. Stokes, what a run. North Crowley High School. Demarion Mays, a 4-star, showing you why right here. What a grab. Somehow keeps his feet into the end zone. They're saying, no, no, no. He's saying, yes, yes, yes. That's a catch. Jemiah Douglas from St. Thomas Aquinas. I want you to keep an eye as he runs backwards right there. Most people can't do that with nobody around. He does it with 11 guys trying to tackle him. Nice job by Mr. Douglas. Let's turn up the volume.
Ferris fires. Campbell reels it in. That's a touchdown for Chase Campbell. Wow. A signature drive for the future Red Raider capped off with the catch of the game thus far.
And the catch of the season.
Great call in Texas. You're familiar with this guy. Jalen Hill, St. John Bosco, 4-star defensive back. Love me some defensive plays. This is a special one right here as he goes up high, snags it with one hand, keeps it, and makes the catch. That guy a whiteout. Speaking of whiteout, C.J. Sadler, the #1 play of the week. The UNC commit, they could use him. C.J. Sadler. This sparked, they were down 27-7. This sparked the comeback. It also sparked our attention to make it the top play this week on the NFHS Network.
And out of the MaxPreps top 10 highlights, of which Jalen Hill's that one-handed interception was number 2, we go to our top 25 national rankings. And I mentioned when we were looking at the top 10, not a lot of movement coming into this week. There might be a lot of movement coming out of this week.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw Modern Day is only up 8-7 on Kahuku at halftime. I had to double check and look on Twitter just to make sure that score is accurate. I couldn't believe it, but yeah, Bishop Gorman up big on Lone Peak. I think it was 28-14. Buford beating Roswell pretty handily. American Heritage goes down to see them drop out. See Chaminade Madonna jump back in. But, man, Mission Viejo, the story of SoCal versus NorCal. I think a lot of NorCal fans thought this is going to be the one. Ryder Lyons, 5-star quarterback with Mission Viejo, 37-6. We talked about Gorman earlier in that Chaminade Madonna win against American Heritage. Nice dub for the Lions. And nice win for Duncanville to start the year against South Oak Cliff, who beat North Shore last year. In Corner Canyon. A funny story real quick, Jeff. So the head coach of Corner Canyon, Eric Kerr, has done a tremendous job at that program. Jason Negro's second out-of-state win came against him when he was at Jordan in Sandy, Utah back in 2012 against Austin Kafensis, who was, I mean, getting 6-7 touchdowns a night. So it's pretty funny to see him now building that program at Corner Canyon, and him and Jason Negro, the head coach here, have a little bit of history.
And folks, that Mission Viejo Folsom game still showing on the NFHS Network. They're just in the second quarter there.
Wow, Luke Fahey, man, he was our player of the game for a reason. Ohio State commit. He's shining against the 5-star Ryder Lions. So hopefully we get some more points in this one. 7-0, but Bosco's defense playing great, up 7-0 here in a 2-versus-4 showdown.
Our number one priority is protecting our players. That's why we're writing new rules for the sport and developing innovative educational tools that protect our athletes. This is player protection. This is high school football.
Back at St. John Bosco High School, where it's a 7-0 ball game. The Braves leading it over the St. Francis Academy Panthers. Jeff Kurtz alongside Zack, Poff as we roll through halftime here on MaxPreps, our YouTube channel, and the NFHS Network. Let's go to the first half highlights. And folks, as is tradition now, it seems, on the MaxPreps Game of the Week, there's going to be one offensive highlight and a lot of defensive highlights as well.
Yes, and this was a good opening drive for the Panthers. They were able to drive inside the Bosco red zone. Near Brooks Jr. running back, and their offensive line has done a good job, but the Braves defense responded, and Matthew Newsow, UCLA commit, he's been all over the field in the first half.
Yeah, he's been all over when they needed him, and then we've got a couple of missed field goals in this game. Graham missing for St. Francis Academy in the first quarter, and then we move on to the second quarter. And St. John Bosco is moving the ball pretty well. I mean, they got this great pass down to Williams inside the 15-yard line, but then the drive ended up stalling. The field goal attempt by Wallace was a little bit to the left as well, and so we were still at 0-0 at that point.
Yeah, there's Newsow again. He's impressive. UCLA's getting a stud, and you see the elusiveness from Malik Allen in the passing game. 3-star running back, and just a great play design. Mala'ulu fools the defense, and only points of the game so far here in the first half.
Yeah, you had Allen with that explosive run and then that pass play to get the touchdown, and that is your first half scoring. 7-0 our score. Some missed opportunities both ways, but we'll break down and look at the keys to the game from when we introduced it at the first half. See how that might play out in the second half as our coverage continues here on the MaxPreps Game of the Week.
The MaxPreps Game of the Week is brought to you by GoFan, the leading ticketing solution for high schools. Skip the line and get your tickets instantly on the GoFan app. And by the NFHS Network. Watch your favorite teams live and on demand with the largest broadcast network for high school sports. High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
Teams back on the field starting to warm up here on a beautiful evening in Southern California. We're finally starting to get a little cool in the air here as we move through late summer and heading towards fall. A lot of great coverage here on the NFHS network, on MaxPreps, and on our MaxPreps YouTube channel. Great highlights as well. Jeff Kurtz alongside Zack, Poff, and 7-0 our score here. Zack, St. John Bosco, St. Francis Academy. I think almost exactly what we bargained for at this stage.
Yeah. And you knew, I knew coming into this one, it's probably going to be low scoring. That's kind of been on brand with the games of the week, but both these teams are so talented on defense. Points were going to be tough to get. And Bosco, they just had the perfect play design to get the only points of the game so far. But I like what I've seen from St. Francis' offense. They got to find a way for Jayon Williams to get a little more effective in the passing game though.
Well, both teams getting set to bust out offensively. You can kind of feel it. The defenses have been holding so far. 7-0 our score as halftime continues in just a moment.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
Nothing our score. St. John Bosco, St. Francis Academy on the MaxPreps Game of the Week as the Panthers back out on the field. They will get the football to begin the second half of play. Let's go back to our keys to the game for the beginning of the game. And we looked at the Hogs, those offensive linemen, with a slight nod to the Washington Commanders down south and some of their offensive lines during their Super Bowl days. And more takeaways than giveaways so far. No takeaways for either team.
Yeah, I was about to say there's been no turnovers. There's been opportunities for a couple, but haven't capitalized.
And then Koa has certainly kept his heart rate steady against some heavy pressure. And the defensive line, really the linebackers, have been the ones stepping up for the Braves against this run game.
Yeah, Matthew Muasau I mean, he's been as good as anybody on the field through the first 24 minutes. Yeah, but getting back to the quarterback, Koa Mala'ulu, I think he gained so much confidence last year from that first start against Mater Dei to his second start against Mater Dei. Looked like a totally different quarterback. And by playing a school like Mater Dei, there's not going to be a moment you're not ready for at the high school level where you can tell he's going to keep his nerves under control against this very talented St. Francis Academy defense.
Wallace about to kick off here in just a moment for St. John Bosco. And St. Francis Academy with a chance to get a decent return if they can. They have their best field position in the first half, and their 5 possessions was at their own 36-yard line. But the other 4, they started at the 20 every single time. First downs in the first half for St. Francis Academy. They had 7. St. John Bosco had 8. 1 penalty for 15 yards for the Braves, 3 penalties for 30 yards for the Panthers. 5 possessions for St. Francis Academy in the first half, 6 for St. John Bosco. This is going to be number 6 possession for St. Francis Academy, and Wallace quickly puts any thoughts of getting the ball beyond your 20-yard line on ice while he booted that one out of the back of the end zone.
Hey, you gotta keep your head on a swivel if you're over there standing behind the end zone. I mean,
oh yeah,
hey, Wallace, that ball cleared the back of the end zone.
That's prime seating and almost took out someone who was carrying a hot dog back from the snack bar.
That'd be win. At least, I mean, hot dogs probably aren't $8 here like they are at professional stadiums, but still, you don't want to lose your dog on the opening possession of the third quarter.
Only if you get to keep the football as a souvenir, and I don't think you do.
And, you know, a shout out to Heston Kwan. He was here taking photos last week and suffered a broken leg when Ashton Keys ran into him. So we're hoping for a quick and speedy recovery. Heston here at MaxPreps.
Oh, sorry to hear about that. As on the first play, St. Francis Academy going to take it 2 yards to the 22-yard line.
And that just shows you the kind of program that Bosco has. As Ashton Keys went and visited Heston Kwan in the hospital and apologized, and it's all good. But yeah, quick hope for a speed and quick recovery. Heston Kwan, one of the best photographers we have here at MaxPreps.
Heston, you can relax. You do not have to take any shots of your hospital room. We'll let you take a break here and recover.
He's probably watching us right now.
Williams, after that 2-yard gain. Tight formation now for St. Francis Academy. We haven't seen much of this formation so far in the game. Some adjustments at halftime. They're going to keep it on the ground again, and this time a couple more yards, maybe 3 out to the 25-yard line. On the stop, Josiah Poyer as Burke with the carry.
And this is what makes St. John Bosco one of the best programs in the country. They have a good coaching staff, so they usually are very good at making adjustments on the fly, and especially at halftime. So it'd be interesting to see who kind of makes the adjustments here to be the difference.
Excuse me, that was Sinir Brooks with the carry on that last play from St. Francis Academy. 3rd and 5.
Yeah, and if you're Bosco's defense here, you just got to contain Jayon Williams and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, don't let him run up the middle. That QB draw has worked pretty well. He's going to sprint out slightly left, step up. Here comes some pressure. Hit as he throws, gets the completion. Very close to a first down. What a throw by Williams. Great catch by Legree on the far side. It'll be 4th down and 1.
Wow, got a kind of tough spot there. But, yeah, outstanding job by Jayon Williams to keep the play alive. Dutch Horace got a chance on him, but nice job by the running back. And threw that one basically with no feet, all arm. Nice overthrow tackle by Holland.
And rather than take a chance deep in their own end, only trailing by 7, they're going to try to flip the field here a little bit. Tubbs is going to be back to receive. He's standing around his 40-yard line. Graham just inside his 15.
Yeah, this is a tough call. You're kind of too far in your own possession, though, to go for it here on 4th and 1.
Well, now they're going to go quickly up to the line of scrimmage, and they get someone to jump.
Wow, that's tough.
That's exactly, I think, what St. Francis Academy was attempting to do, and the Braves fall for it.
Looked like that was the linebacker, Brandon Wills Dickinson, to come up and get Bosco to jump outside and pick up the first down.
Well, that's a tough break. And a nice, smart play by St. Francis Academy. Tough break for the Braves. So a fresh set of downs. A first down off the penalty.
Yeah, that's going to be a play to remember if the Panthers can get some points on this drive.
Williams going to roll out right. He's throwing. He's got Legree. Legree's got some space. He's going to be out of bounds beyond the 45-yard line. That's another first down.
Yeah, Legree's special in the open field. He was at Loyola Blakefield last year, and he played more defense than he did offense, but here at the Panthers, strictly on offense. Hit 4 interceptions last season, only had 130 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns. But yeah, that offsides penalty was huge on the Braves to set up a first down for the Panthers.
Absolutely was.
Heston Kwan just texted me, said thank you.
Oh, that's nice. We got you, Heston. Williams, handoff. Brooks running left. He's going to break an ankle tackle, but then will be cleaned up at the 49-yard line for a gain of 3. Well, and St. Francis Academy, they translate that first down on the penalty and then get another quick first down on the pass play. So
Samir Edwards, a guy to watch on this drive for St. Francis. Only a sophomore, but he's 6'4", 185 pounds. But he's a guy you can try and match up one-on-one, but he's been lining up against 6 Jalen Hill a lot, and Jalen Hill, one of the best cover corners in Southern California.
Burke back in the game. He'll get the carry running left, and he's going to find a seam. He's got a first down and more. He's got some blockers. He's inside the 10. He's down to the 5 and into the end zone for a touchdown. Jalen Burke follows the convoy down the field and ends up in the house, and we're an extra point away from a tie game.
What a run from the senior running back, only 5'9", 195 pounds. Watch this block on the edge right here on Asala Willie Ava. Opens it up, got a pancake block on the left, and nice job of zigzagging for Jalen Burke. And the Panthers an extra point away from tying this one up.
A fantastic play and a great run with some premier blocking all over the field for St. Francis Academy is Graham. The holder, Cohen Logan. The kick on the way, and that is good. And we are tied at 7 as St. Francis Academy takes the gift penalty on the punt attempt and turns it into points on that drive. They go 80 yards.
Yeah, great job by the offensive line here. Watch 23, the safety coming in, and he takes a big block. John Watkins, the left tackle, 3-star Temple commit, really set that pull up for Jalen Burke to take it all the way to the house. But yeah, like you mentioned, Jeff, that penalty was huge. 4th and 1, give him a free first down, and the Panthers capitalize.
That's a 51-yard touchdown run for Burke. Boy, that was just a sequence that you got to take advantage of mistakes by the opponent, and St. Francis Academy certainly did that. I mean, Bosco thinks they're about to get a stop. They commit the offside penalty on the punt, and then just a handful of plays later, the Panthers are in the end zone.
So big drive coming up for the Braves, see if they can answer themselves.
Tubbs back to receive as he's facing Graham. He's to Graham's left. To the right, Trayvon Bates. His kick. Tubbs going to grab it at the 5-yard line. Heading to his left across the 15, and not a whole lot more there. He's going to get out to the 20. Pyle continuing to go forward, and finally he will be stopped around the 23, maybe the 24-yard line. We'll see where the spot is. And St. John Bosco, who had, just like St. Francis Academy, no drive better than their own 36-yard line to start. They had one at the 19, their 20 twice in a row, the 28, the 36, and then the 15. That ended the half. They're going to start this one at their own 23-yard line after the 18-yard kick return.
Yeah, I think they're going to come out aggressive on this drive. You look at the past matchups. They've only played once. St. John Bosco won 37-14 back in 2023. Madden Williams and Daniel Odom were sophomores that year, and they both had a touchdown grab. St. Francis Academy looking for their first win against a Trinity League opponent tonight.
Their second win against an opponent from California. Nice run here on first down out near the 30-yard line, a gain of 7 yards. Keys with the carry.
Jaira Edwards a little slow to get up, but he hobbles back in the secondary and staying out there. One of the best safeties in the country.
Nice job by Keys, who's looking at the sideline for the play call with his hands up like, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing here, guys. Right now I'll just stand next to Malulu's left. How about that? Press coverage on the near side. Malulu going to throw to the far side, and it's going to go through the hands of Clark. That was a fastball that would have been enough for a first down. And instead, it'll bring up 3rd and 3.
Yeah, just a tough ball to catch for Clark. Threw a fastball, like you said, and going to get his hands on it.
Here's a 3rd down. 3rd and 3.
Looks like Marquez Torres coming in to give a little more beef on the offensive line. Might have 6 offensive linemen on this play, 3rd and 3.
Yeah, in a 3rd and short situation, Bosco wants to move the chains, keep his drive alive.
You got Matt and Williams one-on-one on the bottom.
Malulu going to roll out right. He's still rolling. There's no one to throw to, however, and it's going to be completed by one of the coaches. He's going to grab it on the far side. He was going to take it pick 6 out of bounds, but instead that'll bring up 4th down, and the punting unit is coming on for St. John Bosco.
He's trying to find DJ Tubbs, but he got a little tangled up, and Malulu just throwing it away. A little high step looking like Dion over there.
A little instinct kicked in there. C.J. Wallace standing at his 15-yard line. And a deep kick, but this is returnable from the 29-yard line. Last time, Legree had some space. He took a little bit further than this, but this is going to set up St. Francis Academy with outstanding field position at the 48-yard line. You feel a little bit of the air has gone out of the balloon on the Bosco side, really since that penalty and then the score. And I'm not going to say it's gotten a little flat here in the stadium, especially on the home side.
Yeah, you were hearing the crowd stomping and clapping, but you haven't heard much of that here in the second half. Got to look at Messiah Hallamarian, the head coach for St. Francis Academy, doing a tremendous job with this program.
So a huge opportunity for St. Francis Academy with their best field position of the game starting at their own 48-yard line. Williams going to keep it himself around the outside, and he will be run out of bounds after a gain of 3 yards to the St. John Bosco 49-yard line.
And I know St. Francis Academy has had some big wins against IMG Academy, but if they win here in Southern California at St. John Bosco, I would say this would be the biggest win in St. Francis's long career. They started playing football back in 2008, I believe.
Yeah, you've got Kahuku keeping Mater Dei nervous, and now you've got St. Francis Academy doing the same here with St. John Bosco as the carry by Williams to the 46-yard line. Then a little bit of extracurriculars in the secondary after the fact, and officials quickly separate players. It'll set up a 3rd and 4.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance the winner of tonight's game could jump into the #1 spot in Monday's MaxPreps Top 25, especially, even if Mater Dei wins kind of sloppy and you get a big win like this, it could change things around. But it's hard to move out of that #1 spot if you don't lose.
So a lot to keep an eye on, folks, in the MaxPreps Top 25. Meanwhile, in this game, with 6:35 and counting here in the 3rd quarter, a big 3rd down for the Panthers. Williams drops back to throw. A screen underneath, and Burke is wide open. Burke's got the first down, and he's going to be ankle tackled at the 31-yard line.
Yeah, Panthers had 2 wide open receivers. Burke, the senior running back, is the one that catches it. Asala Wiliava brings him down at the 31.
Well, yeah, he had a lot of options there, didn't he, Williams? He's could even have thrown to Damon Hall. Williams looking very confident running the offense right now, especially after scoring a touchdown on the previous possession. St. Francis Academy now with the ball at the Braves' 31-yard line. Williams going to keep it himself. Bounces to the outside. And again, a big tackle. Muasau steps up and holds Williams to a 1-yard gain.
His football instincts off the charts. Little read option for Jayon. And Muasau not fooled one bit.
Yeah, came off a blocker and chased down Williams. That's not easy to do. And a solo tackle on that quarterback is not easy either.
Yeah, nice job by Justin Coach helping out Muasau as well. But yeah, the winner of this game, they're going to have a good opportunity to, a long way to go in the season, but they put themselves in a great spot to finish the year at #1 when it's all said and done.
Still a long way to go in this game, too. Outcome very much in doubt in a tie ball game. Past the midpoint of the third quarter. Play action. Williams rolls right, throws, and gets it to Legree. Legree is going to be stopped just shy of the first down at the 22-yard line, a gain of 8. It's a nice open field tackle by the Braves.
And this is where it's nice having Jayon Williams. Looks like they're going to actually give him the first down.
Wow.
First down pickup.
I'm going to spot him at the 21-yard line.
Looks like he got a pretty good spot there.
He did. Another first down for St. Francis Academy. Their 4th of the second half. Just outside the red zone are the Panthers. Brooks back in the game in the backfield. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 near side. Tight end in the game. Destin Mitchell to the right. Brooks the carry. He is going to be hit at the line of scrimmage and will get a yard down to the 20.
Nice job by Olivianos there to bring him down. Looks like we got an injury. As you can see, the St. Francis offensive lineman telling them to come out. Looks like that's Freddie Jacobs, the center. That's a big loss to St. Francis because the center kind of controls the offensive line.
He's going to have to come out for at least one play. See who they bring in. Looks like they're going to. Well, they're sending in number 72, and Zack, I don't have a 72 on my roster.
I do not either. So
we've got a mystery 72 into the game, and they're getting rid of some of his tape, it looks like, so he could snap the football. And a good snap it is, especially coming cold off the bench. Bouncing the outside, Brooks. He is going to be hit a couple times behind the line, and then will finally eke out a yard to the 19-yard line.
Brandon Nash, the sophomore, a little slow to get up. Looks like he hurt his left shoulder.
Yeah, he did. Boy, Nash flew in there and got an initial hit. There's Muasau as well. Muasau and Nash.
And Nash just came back. This is his first game of the season. He's one of the best in the class of 2028.
Wow, that's a tough break. Hopefully it's just a
stinger, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I say that like that's something easy, but he's going to come out of the game. They're working on him on the sideline. 3rd and 8 situation at the 19. Just the second possession. Now finally timeout's going to be called by St. Francis Academy as the play clock was winding down. But remarkable, Zach, we're at the 2:14 mark of the third quarter, I should say. And St. Francis Academy, this is just the second time they've touched the ball, and St. John Bosco's had it once for 3 plays.
Yeah. It was nice to see Freddie Jacobs back in on that last play before the timeout. But yeah, I mean, this is exactly what St. Francis wanted to do. You get a look at Brandon Nash trying to work on his left arm. Bosco has a great training staff here. But yeah, this is the biggest play of the game coming up. You got 3rd and 8. You've already seen your kicker miss 1 field goal. So depending on how many yards you pick up on this drive, this could be 4-down territory for Masai Halamarian.
Yeah, he's going to have an interesting choice to make if they don't get the first down on this play. As you got a quick look at the student section at St. John Bosco. This side of the field has not been friendly to field goal kickers.
It is not.
In this game.
3rd down, Bosco crowd.
3rd and 8. Out of the Panthers timeout, their first. They have 2 remaining. Man in motion to the near side is Legree. Williams going to step up and run. He's got a big hole to the left, and he's in the end zone for a 19-yard touchdown run.
It's a great play call by the Panthers. They saw Bosco was heavy on the left side, and Jayon Williams able to follow his left tackle for the score. That was too easy.
Boy, Burke really had no one to block just at the very end. He was 18 yards down the field before he had to put a hat on somebody.
Nice job by Logan King as well, getting out in front of his quarterback. And 3rd and 8, easy touchdown for Jayon Williams.
Here's Graham for the extra point. So 2 possessions for St. Francis Academy in the second half, 2 touchdowns. That one is almost blocked, but the kick is good, and it's 14-7. And there is a hush on this side of the field from the St. John Bosco crowd.
I think we're going to get a personal foul on St. Francis Academy. Josh Holland, who came in to try and block the extra point, get a look at the touchdown run from Jayon Williams. A little bit of contact as he was on the ground from a St. Francis player. So that could give Bosco a chance to get good field position on this kickoff.
We're looking at our referee, Robin Hall, who's talking to the 5-man crew here. And that is going to be a personal foul. It's going to go against Bosco.
Wow.
So instead, Graham is going to get a pretty short field to kick toward.
So Josh Holland might have said something to the opposing player that made a little contact. But, man, 2 great drives for St. Francis Academy in the second half, and it really goes back to that first drive when it was 4th and 1, and they're able to get St. John Bosco to jump off sides when they had it at their own 29.
Well, you know, and we talked about it earlier after that last touchdown drive, Zach, but you take advantage of the opponent's mistakes, and so far there have been no turnovers in the game.
Yeah.
But the giveaway here for Bosco was the penalty, and then St. Francis Academy was able to capitalize, and then they built on that with another great possession, this time going 52 yards for a score, capped by that 19-yard touchdown run by Jayon Williams. So now on the 15-yard penalty, Graham is going to hit a chip shot towards the end zone, and that will go into the end zone for a touchback. So now a long field once again for the Braves.
Touchback.
Well, as St. John Bosco's offense starts to come out on the field, and the band tries to get the fans back into it. We've got a great game for you next week as Zach and I head back to Georgia, Carrollton, and Gainesville, the Trojans and the Red Elephants. And that'll be a big one in Georgia. A lot of state ranking potential on the line there.
Yeah, Carrollton won big tonight. Gainesville had the week off, so we'll get a matchup of 2 undefeated teams next week, 2 of the best in the Peach State. Big drive for the Braves here.
Malulu at his 20-yard line. Just the second time they're touching the football here in the second half with 2:09 left in the third. A pass outside. That's going to be caught. Nice job by Williams pulling that in on an out route. That'll be enough for a first down at the 31-yard line, a gain of 11.
A nice job by Malik Allen. 5'8", junior running back. He's lined up one-on-one with DQ Fork Puck. Gets enough of a block and easy throw and catch for Mala'ulu and Madden Williams.
They're giving Williams a little bit of a cushion, too, so a little bit of space for the quarterback to throw into there. Now they're going to go press coverage on that receiver on the far side. Blitz coming, play action. Malulu going to throw across the middle, and that pass is incomplete. And you got a penalty marker down. There were hands on Clark before the ball got there. We'll see if that's going to be a pass interference call, but it's likely that's where the flag was thrown, and it is going to go against the Panthers.
I was kind of surprised. I didn't see an initial flag at the very beginning, but pretty easy call to make.
First penalty of the second half for St. Francis Academy.
Moves the ball to the 46-yard line. First and 10 Braves. From around 46.
This is huge opportunity for the Braves. Just to give their defense a little bit of rest. But they got to get their crowd back in the game. St. Francis Academy has taken all the momentum away here in the second half.
15-yard penalty puts the ball at the 46-yard line. Fresh set of downs. Malulu going to throw underneath. That pass is caught. And taking it into Panther territory is Daniel Odom, as Odom finally is able to make a connection with his quarterback. That'll put the ball at the 47-yard line of the Panthers.
7-yard pickup on the play.
Gain of 7.
You see the Braves kind of going up tempo here. Hurry up offense.
Panthers showing blitz from every linebacker they've got. Here they come. It's going to be a running play. Allen is going to break the initial hit And we'll get a yard down to the 46-yard line, setting up 3rd and 2. And this, I can't overstate how big this third down is. 3rd and 2 for the Braves, because they need to get some points on the board since St. Francis Academy's been scoring every time they touch the football.
Yeah, nice job there, too, by Kamari being the safety, coming up to the line of scrimmage, make the tackle on the elusive Malik Allen. They go empty set.
Malulu is going to now motion Allen back into the backfield. He'll stand to his quarterback's left. Under a minute to play in the third. Pressure coming. Allen out of the backfield. He gets open and drops the football. That pass was a little behind him. It'll set up 4th down.
Yeah, that's tough. If you lead Allen there, he's got a lot of room to run. Kind of threw it behind him and couldn't come up with the catch. Had a lot of open field, but that's a tough catch to make, especially for a running back coming out of the backfield. Kind of surprised here. I thought the Braves would be in 4-down territory, 4th and 2 at the Panthers 46.
They're going to punt the football away here. At least Wallace is on 4th and 2. Back to receive is Legree. Wallace going to put this one in the air, end over end. Legree is going to grab it inside the 10-yard line. Dodges the initial tackler, and then will finally be wrapped up shy of the 20-yard line at the 18. And then we've got a little bit of pushing and shoving after the play is over as well. Behind the play, it will be Panther football. And let's look at some of the college commitments. You mentioned a ton of players already committed. And this is some of the places they're going. And that's a pretty good list on that map.
Oklahoma right in the middle. They got a big game this week against Michigan. Daniel Odom, 4-star wideout for the Braves, going there. Texas A&M, Madden Williams. UCLA, Matthew Musau's had a huge game. Then Alabama, you got Jaira Edwards. Auburn, you got Wayne Henry. Maryland's got a lot of commits in this game, led by 5-star Zion Ely. You also got Penn State, Temple, Virginia, Syracuse. I mean, the list goes on and on. USC, San Jose State with Carson Clark. Washington, the kicker, C.J. Wallace.
That's right. I'm glad Maryland is able to recruit so well from St. Francis Academy. They're right in their backyards. Perfect spot. Doesn't always happen. Sometimes players want to go out of town. Here's a handoff on 1st down. Burke, who's going to get tossed forward to the 20-yard line for a gain of a couple.
Yeah, this is a big possession for the Braves defense. They got to try and find a way to even just force a 3-and-out so they can maintain good field position. That'll probably, we'll see if St. Francis runs it into play, but they don't need to.
No, they are not in a rush. Their flight leaves tomorrow morning early. They want to go back with a win. They're leading at 14-7 right here, but Williams is going to get his team up to the line of scrimmage. He's looking at the scoreboard, which is right in front of him. But he is just going to let this wind down, and we'll go to 0, and we head to the 4th quarter. St. Francis Academy, they put a couple of scores on the board. They've got a 51-yard touchdown run from Burke. A 19-yard TD run for Williams gives them the lead. They're the number 4 team in the country. They've got the ball. We'll see if they can finish this in a moment.
The MaxPreps Game of the Week is brought to you by GoFan, the leading ticketing solution for high schools. Skip the line and get your tickets instantly on the GoFan app. And by the NFHS Network. Watch your favorite teams live and on demand with the largest broadcast network for high school sports.
Let's take a look at the top 10 from Maryland, and St. Francis Academy obviously top of that list. Matha right behind them. It's a good group of teams. Quince Orchard still looking to play their first game. Fort Hill as well, and Wise. But the Maryland football season just getting underway.
Yeah, DeMatha, big win last week against St. Joseph Prep. They were one of 2 new teams to jump in the top 25. They won tonight 30-14 against Philly Power Imhotep Charter.
And as we start the 4th quarter, Williams going to run on 2nd and 8, and he is going to get to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And we've got a penalty marker at the end of the play. We might have a hold here against St. Francis Academy as It looked like Muasau was trying to get off a block and was having a hard time doing so. And that will be holding against the Panthers.
Yeah, I figured Negro would accept this penalty, make it 2nd and 18 opposed to 3rd and 7.
He's going to put the Panthers back at their own 10-yard line. Field position is really critical for St. John Bosco, who their best field position of the game has been at their own 36-yard line.
Yeah, and speaking of other scores around too, Mater Dei up 14-7 in the 4th quarter. So Kahuku Red Raiders coming all the way over from the 808.
They're hanging in there. It's a one-score game there. It's a one-score game here.
Yeah,
identical score.
Yeah, they lost 38-0 last week against number 3 Bishop Gorman.
Williams going to take it up the middle himself on 2nd and long. He'll get out to the 15-yard line, a gain of 5. That will set up 3rd down and 13.
Yeah, I think if you ask Masai Halamario, you're going to have a 7-point lead in the 4th quarter. He would feel very good about it just because he trusts his defense so much. So I wouldn't expect anything too crazy for the offense here. Don't want to take a chance at turning the football over. I'd expect a conservative play call here on 3rd and 13.
Just give Graham a little more room to punt the football away if you need to.
Yeah.
Williams, though, trying to get a 1st down. He's going to hand it off, and that will be short yardage again. Forward progress to the 18-yard line for 3 more, and the punting unit is coming out for the Panthers.
Yeah, that holding penalty really set back St. Francis's offense on this possession, and you could tell they weren't going to try anything too crazy, just run the ball, kick it back to Bosco. And they really haven't allowed DJ Tubbs, a dangerous punt returner, any chance on returns here in this one. They know he's one of the best.
The snap has to be good. Graham standing at his 2-yard line. He gets the ball. Tubbs waiting for it. It is going to be kicked away from him. It will roll out of bounds. Probably the best outcome for Graham and the Panthers. Out of bounds at the St. John Bosco 47-yard line.
And we'll see if Bosco kind of goes back as we get a look at the scores going on. Gorman up 35-14. Mission Viejo still 37-6. And you don't see Mater Dei on here because I kind of figured it'd be a blowout, but it's really one of the close games we got going on. 14-7 in the 4th quarter. Shout out to the Red Raiders. Nice win for Duncanville to start the year, and Corner Canyon doing what they do. They score a lot of points. One of the best offenses in the nation.
This is the best field position for Bosco in the game, starting at their own 45-yard line. They're going to give it to Hinton, and he's going to take it into Panther territory for a 6-yard carry to the 49-yard line.
And that shows you how much Jason Negro trusts his sophomore running back. The sophomore is in here in a 14-7 game trailing in the 4th quarter, but he's got a big ceiling. I'd expect him to be a big-time guy to come from this Braves program, and a guy to watch every Friday night for the next 3 years.
2nd down and 4. Under 10 minutes to play in the game. Alulu with pressure coming. Going to throw a deep ball. He's got a man with a step. And what a catch by Williams. And he walks into the end zone for a touchdown. Zack, that might be a top 10 MaxPreps play of the week.
Look at that. I mean, his ability to just let that ball drop right in his hands, takes it to the house. Texas A&M is getting the dude, and Madden Williams is going to have a chance to be the all-time touchdown leader in Bosco history. 7 away and 8 to hold it by himself.
That's a 49-yard touchdown pass on a bullet. From Malauulu to Williams. Wallace tacks on the extra point. We are tied.
Well, I think might have made history tonight. This is the first time both teams have scored double digits in our MaxPreps game of the week, I believe.
That's right. You are correct.
We had a 10-6er last week with De La Salle Lakeland. Look at this throw by Malauulu. And Madden Williams, he is just special. I mean, it wasn't terrible coverage on the play, but Madden Williams is so good at locating the football. House call for number 7.
I mean, Malauulu couldn't have thrown that any better if he just walked over and handed it to Williams right in his arm. I mean, Boy, folks, if you're looking for a babysitter and you've got a baby, Zach, you could probably hand your child off to Williams. He's going to cradle it like that.
I don't know if my wife Christine would love me tossing Logan in the air, but I trust Madden Williams to make the catch.
Look, soft hands, that kid, soft hands.
You get a look at Jason Negro. He's just done an outstanding job against out-of-state competition. 30-4. They've won 4 in a row and 22 of the last 23 against out-of-state competition. They really started playing more out-of-state games in 2012, and it picked up in 2013. The year Josh Rosen led them to their first ever state title, 16-0 record. They finished number 3 in the final MaxPreps Top 25 that season. They beat De La Salle, snapped their 40-game winning streak.
C.J. Wallace kicking off. He's putting this high in the air, and it will be returnable from inside the 5-yard line. St. Francis Academy looking to set up good field position. Legree is going to bounce off one tackler. There's a penalty marker down. He'll finally be stopped at the 24-yard line. We might have another holding call against the Panthers. There's going to be a spot foul, so the penalty marker is at the 20, and the Panthers are going to be backing up. They'll start this drive at their own 10-yard line.
Yeah, these 2 holding penalties crucial for St. Francis Academy. Had one on the last drive to make it 2nd and 18, kind of ruin that drive, and now you're starting back at your own 10. They don't really have the type of offense to throw the ball here, so you don't really want to start and have to go 90 yards.
This is their worst starting field position of the game. That's their 6th penalty of the game. They've had 3 in each half. St. John Bosco, 3 penalties total, 2 in the second half.
And if St. Francis Academy wants to get this dub tonight, they're going to have to depend on Jayon Williams making a couple of throws, because it's obvious that Bosco is playing the run, and they're really doing a good job of keeping St. Francis out of the running game the last possession.
Williams going to hand it off, jumping out of a tackle in the backfield, and then getting swarmed. Maybe a loss of 1 on the play. And we have a man down for the Braves at the end of that play, as that was Brooks on the carry, and Brooks didn't find a lot of daylight there.
And that's tough. That looks like
Poyer.
Yeah, the linebacker.
Poyer, yeah.
10 or 40. It's like it's Josiah Poyer, the junior linebacker.
He might have ended up at the bottom of that pile, and maybe just kind of absorbed the tackle, which was about 6 Braves, and I think he's got to come off for 1 play. He can't just
trying to sneak in there.
That's right.
Not going to work, bud. And Josiah Poyer, he's still, there they go. They finally got him out. And, you know, he's only got 3 offers so far, but just to show you he's going to start getting more. Ohio State just offered him here within the last couple of weeks. So if Ohio State's offering you got to think just about every program in the country is going to start throwing offers your way.
Legree's going to go in motion to the far side of the field on 2nd and 11. Williams going to tuck it away and run up the middle. Gets a nice block, picks up the first down, and gets out near the 25-yard line. That's a gain of 16 yards. That's a nice run.
Yeah, you know who he reminds me of when he's running like that? He's very patient like Jalen Hurts. You saw him last night for the Eagles, but he just does a good job following his blockers, and he's got kind of the same build as Jalen Hurts, just a little shorter.
Well, and credit Jalen Burke. I mean, that was a fantastic block downfield to free the quarterback for a big game. Burke stays in the game. You see him right behind Williams in the backfield.
And that was a big first down for St. Francis because they were kind of feeling the pressure. They had 2nd and 11. They got to find a way to get a little bit of momentum back on their side.
Now this game very much in doubt as we move down to the 8-minute mark of the 4th quarter. Play action. They're looking for Legree. They're going to find him. Legree is going to be hit and stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Well, it's a nice play in the secondary.
Yeah, nice job by the safety, Dylan Davis, coming up with the open field tackle. It looked like Legree had a little bit of space, but kind of dancing around a little bit allowed Davis to make up that time for right at the line of scrimmage.
We haven't talked about Davis a whole lot, but he did a nice job being on an island and making a solo tackle. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, last year he had 49 tackles. This year, 3 on the season so far with 1 interception. He's already got offers from Michigan and Texas and about a dozen more schools.
Running back to Williams left. He's going to step up and run again with Burke providing some lead blocking. Williams gets to the outside. He'll be cut down after he crosses the 30-yard line.
Nice job again. Actually, it looked like that was Poyer back in. Dylan Davis also there to help out.
Ball's going to be spotted at the 32-yard line, setting up 3rd and 3.
And the Panthers have really had a lot of success here in the second half with Jayon Williams running behind his 2 tackles.
Burke has provided some good blocks downfield, leading the way out of the running back spot for his quarterback. Acting as a chaperone down the field. 3 receivers stack to the near side. Williams looking to throw. He's got some time. He's got a man. He's got a first down at the 36-yard line. That pass is caught by Damon Hall.
Yeah, nice route by Hall. He knew where the first down marker was, and easy throw and catch. And man, St. Francis' offensive line, they're doing they did a solid job in the first half, but they've been even better in the second half, running the ball effectively, and they're giving Jayon Williams enough time to make some throws.
We're working our way down to the midpoint of the 4th quarter. Mitchell's going to come in at tight end. He's going to line up to the left-hand side. Right behind Hall, who just made that catch. Williams with Burke still in the game to his right. Now going to come up to the line of scrimmage. Bark out the play. Burke will move to the left. Burke gets the carry. Running right. And nice hit. St. John Bosco jumped into the hole. A short gain as Amir Williamson makes the tackle at the 37.
Yeah, nice open field tackle from the junior. 6 foot, 205 pounds.
Gain of 2. Officials will spot forward progress at the 38.
You look at the timeout situation. Bosco's got all 3. St. Francis down to 2. I didn't even realize they're playing our broadcast on the Bosco video board.
That's right. They're taking our video right to the board here at St. John Bosco.
I think we picked a good one this week, 2 versus 4, and it's really living up to the hype.
Play action. Williams rolling. Here comes the pressure. He throws. Intercepted. Intercepted. Jalen Hill out of bounds at the St. Francis Academy 40 on the tip ball. That pass was a little bit high to Mitchell. He couldn't pull it in. And Hill is there.
Just perfect spot, right time. Second straight week, Jalen Hill has had an interception. Just nice job getting pressure on Williams. Threw it a little high. Heads up play by the junior DB and a nice run after the INT.
First turnover of the game, and that's something
and we were talking
Coach
about
Masai Halamariam was saying is that, hey, we can't give the ball away, and they do that for the first time there, and the ball is at the Panthers' 38-yard line for St. John Bosco. Malulu looking to get a quick strike. He's looking for his man. Williams the catch again, down to the 2.
He might get 2 top 10 plays this week. Just his ability to high point the football. And I love Koa Mala'ulu's confidence in his 4-star wide receiver. Look at his high point, strong hands. And I love the aggressiveness from St. John Bosco. First play after the turnover, throw it deep. You know Madden Williams is going to make a play, and he's been in one-on-one coverage the entire night, and that's kind of backfired for St. Francis.
First and goal for the Braves at the 2-yard line. In the backfield with Mala'ulu is Hinton. Man in motion, that's Clark. Play action, Mala'ulu, he's looking for Clark. He's got him open. Clark's in the end zone. And the Braves have the lead back.
And great play call. I mean, it's a little pick play, but Carson Clark caught the ball behind the line of scrimmage. That negates any chance of an offensive pass interference.
That's the 3rd touchdown pass of the game for Mala'ulu to 3 different receivers.
So the turnover turns into 7 points. 2 plays for the Braves. Man, Koa Mala'ulu, he is just, we talked about him going in, no nerves. He hasn't shown any this game. He's got a chance to basically shatter all the records here at St. John Bosco.
Wallace connects on the extra point. Mala'ulu, folks, just a sophomore, has given his team a lead with 4:09 to play.
And I've been impressed with a lot of these play designs for the Braves, and they set that one up perfect for Clark. So the Braves went into the fourth quarter trailing 14-7, and they've scored 14 unanswered to take a 21-14 lead.
I mean, let's just talk about Malulu for a moment, Zack. This is a kid, a sophomore. He has less than 10 starts at the varsity level, and he looks like he's been playing here all his life.
Did you call the Orange Lutheran game?
I did.
So you knew he was going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
I think that second half, he was like 21-23, and that game was going back and forth the whole fourth quarter.
And we just kept marveling about the fact that this kid was a freshman. We thought he was going to sit on the bench the entire year, and now he's leading a game-winning drives against a top Trinity League team right out of the gate.
And the thing that impresses me the most about him, his freshman year, he took a lot of big hits. He gets up every time, especially against Mater Dei. Those two games, they had him on his backside pretty much the whole game. He's impressive. I love his game. He's a dog.
Wallace is going to put this one in the end zone for a touchback.
I think player of the game is going to be hard this week, Jeff. But, I mean, it's either got to be Koa or Madden.
Well, we'll have to see.
There's still 4 minutes left.
Yeah, so, there's plenty of time.
Obviously, a lot of game left.
They're going to have the ball at their own 20-yard line as Wallace, always a weapon when your kicker can make the opponent have a long field in front of them. That's what the Panthers are facing here.
If I'm St. Francis here, you know, I think Bosco still thinks you're going to try and run the ball in this drive. I draw something up for Jayon to get outside the pocket, and you got a one-on-one opportunity. Let your receivers make a play. Because, I mean, Bosco's defense is selling to the run. You're going to have a chance to make a big play in the passing game.
But you don't have to abandon the running game either. 4:09 to play, 2 timeouts. If you're picking up 7-8 yards in a crack.
Especially, too, the last throw was intercepted.
Williams trailing by 7. He's going to hand it off to Burke, and Burke will be hit just across the line of scrimmage. He'll get out to the 23-yard line. Now, you do want to probably hurry up just a hair if you're the Panthers.
They've already used 1 timeout here in the second half. What a game, though. This has lived up to the hype. You got number 2 versus number 4. Sometimes these matchups really don't live up to it, but this has been everything and more.
2nd down and 7. St. Francis Academy trying to execute a game-tying drive. They're going to give it to Burke again. He's across the 25-yard line and will be stopped. Might have gone to the 27. He's going to pop out of the pile late, but whistles had already blown. A gain of 4.
You can hear the crowd kind of moaning, but yeah, we're not calling that here with 3 minutes left in a one-score game. Huge play though. 3rd and 3, 4-down territory for the Panthers.
For sure. With the crowd going nuts and the clock under 3 minutes to go and counting. Williams up to the line of scrimmage. Now he steps back after giving the play call to his offensive line. He's going to tuck it away and run. He's going to be stopped short. He got to the 28, 4th and 2.
Yeah, the Braves, they just know you're going to run the ball here. So we'll see what Masai dials up. So we're going to probably be around the 2-minute mark when this 4th and 2. And they're going to burn their second timeout.
So that will stop the clock. And St. Francis Academy going to talk this one over.
I mean, this is tough. You know, you're a team that runs the ball and you run the ball well, but I think Bosco is going to sell out trying to stop the run here. And Jayon Williams has done a good job to follow his tackles and see if he can get outside the pocket and make a play. And that's a nice thing, having those 3 tight ends that are big body guys.
Well, Zack, each quarter has had its own key play that has shifted the momentum. You had that penalty by Bosco early in the 3rd on the punt attempt that gave St. Francis Academy the football back, and they used it to score a touchdown that drive. Then they scored again their next possession, and now it looks like it's St. Francis Academy's game. But you have the interception, you've got St. John Bosco connecting to get a touchdown. Then they follow up with another touchdown their following possession. It's been an interesting sequence of events. And St. John Bosco trying to hold on here on 4th and 2.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think this drive started with just about around 4 minutes left. They've gone 8 yards, and it's taken them 1:43 just about. So they got to pick it up even if they do get this first down, but they got to get this first down first if any of that matters. I think you get Jayon Williams there, you roll him out, and you look for that big target on the outside, and Samir Edwards.
St. John Bosco trying to win the game here with a big stop. St. Francis Academy trying to keep their hopes alive. Legree in motion. And we've got a whistle, and this time the Braves are going to use a timeout. That is their first.
They are not happy, the coaching staff. You can see them yelling at the players, but at the end of the day, you still got 2 timeouts left. And at least if you're St. John Bosco, too, you got to see what they came out with there on 4th and 2. So be interesting to see if the Panthers change it up.
Yeah, the defensive staff was heated.
Yes.
Calling that timeout there and coming onto the field. Heated. But you want to make sure you've got your play in there correctly offensively. You want to make sure you got the right defensive alignment as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much the game because if St. Francis doesn't pick up this first down, they have 1 timeout left, so Bosco could get close to running the clock out.
1 second ran off the clock, and the officials are asking that that second get put back on. So there should be 2:17 on the clock when all is said and done here.
So I got a text. Kahuku got a field goal with 5:58 left, 14-10 game. Still shocked at that score. I mean, especially the way Kahuku's offense has played this year. They have a very good defense. Talanoa Ely transferred over from Orange Lutheran. He's one of the best linebackers in the country.
Well, we've got a tight game in Santa Ana, and we've got a tight game in Bellflower. We'll try this again. 4th and 2. Legree motions to the far side. Now back to the near side. Play action. Williams looking to throw. Got a man and completes the pass. What a catch. Cohen Logan, a first down at the 37-yard line.
And Bosco's players want an incomplete pass. We got an injured player for the Braves back where the line of scrimmage was. Looks like might be, wait for the number before I say it, but Dutch Horst.
Boy, you're throwing off your back foot, and you find Logan in the middle of the zone for a first down. Officials spot this at the 38-yard line.
The Braves defense was trying to say it was incomplete, but the refs ruled a catch.
Well, that's a big-time pass by Williams on 4th and 2.
Because I think he wanted to hit Legree in the flat, but he just wasn't open.
It's like we've got players getting stretched out all over the place here for St. John Bosco as Richard Orozco's getting his calves stretched here on the near side, and then they're working on.
Looks like that's Dutch Horst.
Yeah, Horst is down on the far side, and it looks like they're stretching him out as well. They're stretching out both calves.
Oh, boy.
Boy, that's rough.
What a play by Jayon Williams. Just able to great enough time to make a throw. And we haven't really called Cohen Logan's name too much, but he goes to him on the biggest play of the game on 4th and 2 to move the chains.
Yeah, and once you start getting cramps like this, Zach, it is hard to bounce back from that. Here you see Williams just backpedaling and just finds a guy across the middle in Logan. I mean, that was just very calm in the pocket. Horace is going to jog off the field.
That'll be a big miss if he can't get back on the field on this drive. He's their best edge rusher. He's committed to Oregon.
Yeah, they're going to, whoever's got the Gatorade bucket, they better get that over to him quickly.
And you saw James Branch sitting on the bench over there. He's their best wide receiver for St. Francis. He kind of hurt his hip in the first quarter, and he just really hasn't been the same since. So must be bugging him here if he's not on the field on this drive.
Williams, the clock started up again after they reset the chains and out of the injury timeout. Williams play action. He's going to throw. He's got a man downfield and almost intercepted. That time it was Josh Holland who got a hand on the football, and a bit of nice defense down the field by St. Francis Academy on the offensive side. That was Legree.
Yeah, I thought they were going to.
We have a penalty marker back at the line of scrimmage, however.
I thought they were going to maybe call offensive PI on Legree, but
that's a holding call against St. Francis Academy.
But yeah, nice job by Legree, because that could have been game if he doesn't make a play on the ball. And Josh Holland, sure-handed DB, committed to USC.
Now 1st and 20 after the 10-yard holding penalty. Williams empty backfield. 5 receivers, 3 to the near side. Williams with pressure coming, intercepted.
Asala Willie Ava. Wow.
Willie Ava with the pick as Williams faced pressure. And that pressure was coming in the form of Olive Enos. The second turnover of the game by St. Francis Academy, and St. John Bosco with the football.
Asala Willie Ava, MaxPreps sophomore All-American last year after leading the team in tackles and 7 interceptions. Easy play for the 4-star junior safety. There's a reason why this dude's got 27 offers. But yeah, like you mentioned, just great pressure on the quarterback. Jayon Williams didn't have any time to throw the ball, and Asala Willie Ava, right place, right time.
And did a great job reacting to that football. Malulu with 1:47 to go and a 7-point lead. And St. Francis Academy down to their final timeout. Maybe just needs 1 first down. He's going to put Williams in motion. And we got movement on the part of the Braves. That penalty will push them back 5 yards. That's their 4th penalty of the game, their 3rd in the second half.
Well, I mean, one of the main reasons, one of the keys for St. Francis to win this game was to get more takeaways and giveaways, and they're trailing 2-0 in that department. And 2 huge turnovers in the 4th quarter. 1 turned into 7 points, and 1 could turn into Bosco being able to run this clock out. I mean, St. Francis only 1 timeout, so they might have 15 seconds at most if they can get 3 consecutive stops.
Malulu now in a 1st and 15 situation. Handoff. This is Keys, and he's going to get a yard. And for now, St. Francis Academy will keep that timeout in their hip pocket.
And if you're the Braves, it's simple. Just 2 hands on the ball, no turnover. And Ashton Keys, a sure-handed senior.
Well, as the clock winds down and we start to look toward the post-game show, St. Francis Academy trailing 21-14. Bosco looking like they're going to hold on here. We'll look at our player of the game, Zach. We were talking about a moment ago.
Where are you leaning? This is a tough one.
Malulu has got 3 touchdown passes, but Muasau has been all over the place defensively. Meanwhile, a bad snap, and Malulu is going to fall on it back at his 46-yard line, and now you'll have a timeout called by St. Francis Academy with 55 seconds to go. They will use their final timeout. Gives us a chance to talk about this a little more.
Yeah, this is tough. I think you can make a case for 3 guys. Koa Mala'ulu, Madden Williams. I mean, Jalen Hill's had a great game, too. Matthew Muasau's had an outstanding game. I'm leaning Madden Williams. I think his playmaking ability at the wide receiver position tonight has really made it easy for Koa Mala'ulu tonight. And I think when Bosco needed a big play in the 4th quarter, it was the future Texas A&M Aggie making the plays.
Look, people can debate us in the YouTube comments all they want, and I think they could make a good case for a lot of them. Yeah. But I'm with you. I think Madden Williams, he made big plays at the right time on tough catches. And I think that's a very fair idea to give him the player of the game, especially as one of our key players of the game.
Yeah, and we haven't gone with the receiver just yet. So we've had 2 quarterbacks, linebacker last week, so we still got 2 more plays here. So St. Francis out of timeout, so they're going to need a miracle. 3rd
and long, handoff Keys. Keys is going to hang on to the football across midfield and take it down to the 46-yard line.
The clock didn't start until the tackle was made, so that kind of will give St. Francis an extra few seconds.
Nice catch. It's a good catch, Zach.
That's tough.
4th down and long. You're going to have to punt this football away.
Yeah, I don't think they have there's usually not a play clock at high school facilities.
No, so it's all kept on the field by our back judge.
Yeah, so they're going to, here, see if Negro looks like he's going to call a timeout standing right next to the ref. Probably be about 16 seconds.
Oh, the clock continues to wind. He's got
maybe a little less.
Probably, he's going to stop it at 8. So there's 8 seconds left.
Timeout taken by the Braves.
I mean, one thing you could do, you could punt the ball away, or Malulu could start running backwards.
That's what I was thinking, but, you know, if you...
Certainly kills your yards per carry.
I mean, that's what Orange Lutheran did against Miami Northwestern when they won 17-15. They had it 4th down, right around midfield, long snap, ran out the clock, safety. You could do that, but you're taking some risk here. What if he trips, falls over, and then St. Francis maybe gets the ball at the 20? I think if you just catch it, punt it, there's a chance the clock runs out if you do that as well.
Well, let's see if C.J. Wallace comes out on the field or if they're going to leave the offense on. What a game this was. St. Francis Academy, that is not easy going 3,000 miles across the country. You've got in fact, if you take Highway 50 from Sacramento.
There we go.
There is a sign right in Sacramento that says Ocean City, Maryland. It's like 3,156 miles from there. Not quite to Baltimore, but in the neighborhood. And it's a long flight and a long week, and St. Francis Academy has certainly done a great job, but they may come away disappointed here. Let's see what happens. Wallace out on the field to punt with 8 seconds left.
Yeah, I thought this is a well-played game. Obviously, the two turnovers are really going to come back and hurt St. Francis Academy. But if you're C.J. Wallace here, man, catch and get rid of it as fast as you can.
Wayne Henry on a high snap, back to receive. They were going for the punt block. It is a live football, so it's going to run out the clock and just die at the 17-yard line. What a punt by C.J. Wallace to close it out.
What a game, partner.
21-14, the final score on a punt that just drops dead about 6 inches off the sideline to kill the clock.
So it looks like we got to update Jason Negro's out-of-state record to 31-4. A great coaching job by both these guys. Masai Halamarian did an outstanding job. He had his St. Francis Academy team ready to play. Every time they've really come out to SoCal to play Bosco or Mater Dei, it's been kind of lopsided games. Wasn't the case here tonight.
Well, these two coaches, boy, you couldn't ask for better people to coach young high school football athletes. They run great programs. We had a great game. 21-14 the score. Post-game coming up right after this. MaxPreps Game of the Week finishes with a 21-14 score as the number 2 team in the country, St. John Bosco, holds off St. Francis Academy. What a game this was. Jeff Kurtz alongside Zack, Poff, and we're looking at highlights from our player of the game from St. John Bosco, Madden Williams.
Yeah, I think it was hard not to go with the future Texas A&M Aggie. Cole Malulu had a great game, but Madden Williams was really the game changer. Anytime the Braves needed a big play on offense, Madden Williams was the guy, especially in the fourth quarter, trailing 14-7. And he just shows you his versatility as a wide receiver. He's great at catch radius, and a good job using that big body.
You know, Malahulu hasn't been a quarterback for long at St. John Bosco, but he recognizes a meal ticket when he sees one as a sophomore, and that's finding Williams whenever he can. And just some fantastic catches by Williams in this game. You mentioned it, Zach. You're right, at key moments.
Yeah, and, you know, he was the key player coming into this one. He had a monster night. You know, when it's all said and done, he's going to have a great chance to be the best wide receiver to ever come from St. John Bosco.
Well, this is a big win for St. John Bosco. St. Francis Academy, they're playing a tough opponent. They shouldn't drop too far in the rankings, I would think.
No,
I mean,
they're
losing by 7 on the road.
Yeah, they're going to stay right around where they're at. They'll still be in probably the top 5, top 6.
Well, folks, that's going to wrap it up for us here from St. John Bosco. And we've got one score for you on the way out. You got a Mater Dei update really quick.
Last I saw, it was 21-10 Mater Dei, around 1 minute remaining. So it looks like they're going to go ahead and hold on. We'll have them in 2 weeks, but next week, Jeff, we're going to be in Georgia.
Carrollton and Gainesville, 2 undefeated teams in the state of Georgia. We expect another tight game there. We had a tight game tonight. I'd like to thank our great crew here on MaxPreps and the NFHS Network for providing all these great shots. They get here way before Zack and I do. They stay way after we leave. They're the ones who really do the great work. I'd like to thank Carl Harper, our director, and all his team. Finn Prendergast on site as well. Well, folks, that's going to do it for us tonight. 21-14, the final score. St. John Bosco over St. Francis Academy. MaxPreps Game of the Week. It lived up to the billing. And we'll be back with you next week for some more great football on your home for high school sports.
The MaxPreps Game of the Week is brought to you by GoFan, the leading ticketing solution for high schools. Skip the line and get your tickets instantly on the GoFan app. And by the NFHS Network. Watch your favorite teams live and on demand with the largest broadcast network for high school sports.